If the children crying for starvation, just don't just move. You want to get a news update, brother, don't just move. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, don't just move. Politicians want to make their decision, just don't just move. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, don't just move. Kilibamba, what I want? Yes, what you bad today? Yes, what you bad today? Dabado.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stanton.
We're not coming to meeting here, and we're not having meeting here. We're not having meeting here with any in here.
What I'm telling you is that
all of you here, all of you here, also.
Why your test is going on and I'm What the fuck wrong with you, baby? You are not going to any other farmer. I know can test this type of fucking fucking stage from the cantor. Nobody will carry inside with weapon. Okay, then fuck you and sit down here. I will not pay your own pay. What the fuck wrong with you, baby? You got no respect to you? What the fuck wrong with you? You want to test this type of people here?
Go ahead. Go ahead, be rude. Go ahead, be rude.
You're not rude. You all line. You've been on the line here for a long time.
Everybody stay in the office here. Nobody bring you to a meeting.
As long as in DA, as law enforcement officer, I will come anywhere with gun. You didn't tell your man to tell me where they can do it. I'm not in your office, but you cannot stop me from moving with weapon in this place here.
Listen,
and nobody can stop me.
Anybody enter my office the next time, it didn't matter if you come back to my office, it's not allowed to my office. Yes, sir.
They can't even try it.
Yes, sir.
They can't even try it, I can tell you. But you have to put me outside now. They need to come and put me outside. No, you need to be giving them order to put me outside. I'm not fighting you, AB.
You're not getting that from me.
I'm not going to fight you. You've been very disrespectful and unprofessional since you started here, and we've been tolerating you've been tolerating you. Wait, you won't tell me about professionalism?
Yeah,
no, I can tell you that based on my professional judgment, you treat as you are. Me and you, in America, you can compare what I was doing. I'm a damn. What mean you're a poster. You're a damn poster and a liar. Who are you?
I am.
Talking about you who? I was a damn federal agent. Go and check my record.
Let me see how they got some damn lie. You're federal employee that working as a government. Everybody goes down in the block.
Or GR12? Or GR12? You think, no, that only in front of these people, you can bullshit.
I gave you an opportunity.
Based on my professional judgment.
I gave you misuse.
Where professional judgment?
What you're misusing.
You give me this job?
I did.
You employ me?
Send me to the president to give you the job.
You recommended me.
I said that because I thought you were a good guy, but
You're not a good human being.
All right, I'm not. Go ahead.
You are very disrespectful. You are unprofessional. Shut the fuck up when I'm talking. I tell you, shut the fuck up.
You do not go after you. You do not go after you.
That means that you don't go to jail. You can't go to jail. You can't go to jail. My men will disrespect you. Every time my men will disrespect you. You can't go to jail. You take that and put it down. Who the fuck you think you are?
You got John?
Shut up. Get the fuck out of me. Why you holding me?
No, but I gotta hold you. Oh,
you holding me?
I can't hold you.
Wait,
Protect you.
why you holding me? Wait. Why you holding me?
You slapping me?
That's why you for me. Why you holding me? That's why you my pay. Call my man. Call my man.
You slapping me? You the chief officer.
No, call my man.
You slapping me?
The man shot at me.
With the spoon and your boy right at the south of man. Charges on the way.
To get your information. To be part of our discussion. Okay, Tune to Spoon to get your information, Tune to Spoon to be part of our discussion, to know what's happening in Liberia, what's happening at the different ministries, the agencies. This is where you get the news. This is where you get authentic information every single day. I want to say welcome to all of you tonight. Thanks for joining us on another fascinating edition of the Late Night Show. This is the Late Night Politics. This is where we come to discuss the issues without fear or favor. We talk about Liberia holding hard, very, very hard, very dear to us in our hearts, the forward march of this country, the interest of Liberia. We all want to see Liberia succeed. That's why we gather here every night to discuss. But we have diverse views as to how we want this to happen. And so the diversity in our views is what brings us together to talk about the way forward. So again, welcome to the program tonight. My name is Nelson Colette. It's going to be a fascinating show tonight. Kindly share the program. And I want to say welcome to all of you across the internet, on YouTube, on Facebook. We're on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live, on Facebook, Spoon TV, and Fabric TV. Many thanks to the radio stations across the country as well that are relaying this program, all of our partner radio stations. And so I'd like to say thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight, our guests are going to be the folks from the CDC COP. Ben Believe Toba, who happens to be the chairman of the CDC COP, will be here tonight as one of our guests to discuss. And of course, Fode and Massaquoi, the Secretary General of the CDC COP, will be here tonight. And but just before bringing our guests on, I want to go across and bring in the panelists. I see Francis is already here. So we kickstart the show, get the conversation started as we shortly bring our guests on. Francis, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Nelson, thank you. Good to be here. Good morning to our folks in Liberia. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Let's talk Liberia. It's good to be here.
Okay, great. And we're going to get the rest of the guys coming on. But while we try to do that, we will recognize a few of our folks in the comment section as well, as we do here regularly. But I just want to bring a few updates as part of what we do here. Just a few updates here real quick. So today there was there was a serious concern raised by the judiciary. As you are aware, Francis, the Liberian government operates with three separate but equal branches. You have the executive, the legislative, and or the legislature, and that of the judiciary. And so the judiciary raised a very serious concern today. And that concern is that they feel humiliated, they feel ill-treated by the two other branches of government, that is the executive and the legislature. Why? Because according to that branch of government, the judiciary, in the national budget, the budget that was just passed for this fiscal year, they received the lowest allotment, which is 2.8% of the national budget. That's what was captured for the judiciary. While the legislature got 13.84% of the national budget, and the executive got 83.86% of the national budget. Well, cutting across all of the budget lines, the different ministries, agencies, functionaries of government that were considered in the budget, the judiciary feels and thinks that this current administration is not doing her justice. The judiciary thinks that the two other branches, and according to them, they've had meetings, they've sat and discussed with the executive and the legislature with respect to what's being allotted for them in this particular budget line. But all of the discussions, the conversations, and everything proved to be to not bring about the kind of a result they anticipated. And so they had a press conference today rejecting the 20 million budgetary allotment for the 2024 that was intended for the judiciary. Now, with the rejection, what does this mean? Are we going to see a judiciary branch of government that will tell the executive or the legislature, we don't want to pay, we don't want salary, we don't want all the allotment, everything you've captured in the budget line for us, we don't want it. We will operate on our own. And this is where we are, Francis. The judiciary rejecting the 20 million that was allotted for them for this fiscal year. And another important one is the statement from the LRRC. And it's a good thing. As you saw the flyer, he will be appearing tomorrow on the Spoon Talk. The executive director of the institution at some point at the Mika said the people who were repatriated from Ghana, Liberians who have been in that country and were brought were brought back home, majority of those people are drug addicts, mentally ill individuals. In a nutshell, he said they are not good people. But today, the LRRC pulled up a statement to take back what she said, withdrawing her statement concerning those Liberians who were brought back home. Well, the religious advisor told the president is still behind bars. Religious advisor to the former president, Reverend Nimlin, is still behind bars. And the number is increasing, Francis, since the arrest was made. Initially, what we gathered was that there were 90 people who were victims of this trip to Australia thing. But the number has increased to 130 Liberians who are accusing him of them. On a failed trip to Australia, and so those people are expected to gather tomorrow at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police Central, as the police will be making a very critical decision regarding that. And then a decision will be made as to whether they go to court or not tomorrow. And so these are just some of the happenings. Since we have a jam-packed show, a lot to talk about, we can move into the actual conversation tonight. I see Ben is already in the background. He's going to be coming on shortly. Fode will come on, and the rest of the guys, as we have a great conversation here tonight. But Francis, I just want you to, before doing your opening, let me recognize a few of our folks here in the comment section. I see Moses Momolu has joined us. Tommy Jr. is here. Bradner Davis is also here. Madam Siata Tengwe, yes. Kindly keep voting for her as she's participating in the Superman competition. And I'm going to post a link in the midst of the show. So you keep voting for Madam Siata Tengwe. She's a Liberian participating in this Superman competition. She's in the quarterfinals now. And just your vote is what is needed to take her to the next stage. All right. So she's following tonight as well. Thanks for joining us. I see Officer Hans Johnson, one of our panelists here, is in the comment section as well. Thanks for joining us. I see Lofty Bondo, Joseph Kamara, John Wright. I see Alaji Fode. I see Victor Morgan is here. Tapet Tobe is also joining us tonight. And a lot of you joining the show. Thanks for joining. Keep sharing the program, and let's have a fascinating late night show tonight. Francis, I want to go to you to just do your opening quickly as we get ready to kickstart the show.
Yeah, Nelson. Like you said, there's a lot going on in the news in Liberia today. So we are, not to take up much time. Our folks saw the news and we are seeing it, and we are here to talk about it and break it down and give our opinion. So I'm not going to take up much time. But guys, just keep in mind, we are still raising funds to purchase smoke alarms for our people in Liberia to help them, give them a fighting chance against the fire situation. So please, we'll talk about it every day until we can get 1,000 smoke alarms to send to Liberia. So we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us and helping out with this challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the actual draw will be 2 Saturdays from now. So you can reach out to Francis with just $50, get a slot. And yes, he's putting up his PS5, and we'll talk more about that at the end of the show. As you see right there on the screen, his PS5. And once you get a slot, we're going to do a raffle. And one person is going to win that PS5. But it's not about the PS5, actually. The goal here is to get the smoke alarms. He started this as an initiative following the wave of fire outbreaks across the country. And as a panelist on the late night show, we talked to beef this up. So let us all join hands together to help save a life here in Liberia, which is a very important thing. So thank you for being here tonight, Francis. And I think we're about to kickstart the show. I see Ben is already in the background. I don't see Fode here. I don't know how prepared Fode is. But Ben Believe Toba is the chairman of the CDC COP. Ben is going to come on tonight. We're going to have a conversation. And the CDC COP has been one of that group that vigorously campaigned against this current administration, and as the name implies, CDC COP, they were in support of the previous administration. And so, yes, we're going to talk everything about Liberia. We're going to talk about the CDC COP. We're going to talk about governance. We're going to talk about the unfoldings in the country. I want to bring on our brother Ben Believe Toba for the first time on the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Let me see if I can bring Ben on now. Okay, so Ben, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on here tonight.
Thank you very much. Nelson, and thanks to the Fabric Spoon FM family. And it's a pleasure to sit on this unique platform and cross-pollinate ideas and make our contribution to the national discourse.
Okay. So I see Fode is already in the background. Fode, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nelson. And let me say what's up unto Francis. It is great being here tonight, especially as we're about to have this long light of intellectual consciousness as we discuss the importance and the forwardness of our nation. It's great being here. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna have a great show tonight, and I like the way you pull it, an intellectual exchange. Usually there are agreements, disagreements, sometimes they get heated, but at the end of the day, it's Liberia that wins, it's Liberia that matters a whole lot, and the interest of our country is what we are more concerned about. So it's good to have you both here tonight. And first of all, I want you to give us, especially our audience, I'm going to give the first 2 minutes to each of you to introduce yourself, talk a bit about the CDC COP and where we are currently, and then we can start the conversation from there. So we'll start with Ben Toba, and then we'll move to you for the next.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Ben Believe Topa. I'm the national chairman of the CDC Council of Patriots. The CDC Council of Patriots is Liberia's biggest grassroots award-winning civil rights political movement, and our job is to ensure that good governance prevails, and when it is lacking and a government appears and practice kakistocratism, then we get involved, then we checkmate the government, then we profile ideas that can be utilized for a better country, that is if the government chooses to listen. But our role at the CDC COP is to ensure that the government is checkmated, to keep the government feet to the fire, because we believe that the people must matter. And the people in power are not the supreme leaders and owners of the destiny of the land. Those of our people who go to the polls on election day and cast the ballot, they do that with the conviction, they do that with the hope, they do that with the belief that those who will have the opportunity, or those that they will stay in the ring to cast the ballot for, will deliver for the common good of the country. So in the CDC COP, our work is to patriotically remind the actors of the day to do what the Liberian people want and what is better for the country. And if the government of the day falls short of delivering on the basis of what they promised, or on the other hand, on the expectation of the people that they themselves create, then of course, we are posted at the barricade to ensure that the voice of our people is being heard. And if it is not heard, we take grave patriotic actions that has the propensity and the ability to ensure that the right thing is done. And if it is not done, we go beyond the red lines. If it will cost our lives, if it will cause our individual security, if it will cause attack on our families, if it will cause attack on our well-being, we prioritize the populous people's struggle above everything. And so the CDC COP for short is the voice of the voiceless. And under the Boakai Kun administration, we want to re-emphasize the Liberian people that you can go to bed with this. Once you have the CDC COP in existence in the history of our country, you can be aware, you can be assured that we will not allow you to be victims of the situation. We're going to ensure that the government feet is kept to the fire, and that Mr. Boakai and Kun deliver on the expectation of Liberian people that they raised. There's too many things at stake in this country. That is the essence of our institution.
So Thank you very much. Fode, you want to just do your two minutes opening? Go ahead.
Thank you. When you say the CDC Council of Patriots, it is Liberia's biggest and foremost civil rights political movement. Don't get yourself misconstrued. The CDC Council of Patriots is not an auxiliary of this Congress for Democratic Change. But mind you, we are a political civil rights movement. Unlike other group of people that have been into activism and want to mimic and want to scheme on the conscience of the Liberian people, we say no to that. For us, we believe that a civil rights political movement cannot win the presidency. Chairman Ben Believe Topa cannot be president now. So the two major political institutions in this country, they are the Unity Party and the CDC. In as much as we are a civil rights movement, activating and agitating for all walks of life, be it governance, be it equality, be it the violation of the law, since we cannot be president, we must support a political institution to ensure that our agitation comes to fruition. From that backdrop, we have decided to support the Coalition for Democratic Change. So when it says CDC Council of Patriots, no. It's not an auxiliary of the CDC. It is a civil rights political movement that believes it is the CDC as a political institution that will win the presidency, that can be a winning political party. Then we support that particular idea. So the CDC of Council of Patriots, we are very clear. We are not schemers. Unlike other people who will say we're independent, you're independent at the end of the day, you won't go behind the hall to be supporting. No, for us, we agitate for the Liberian people. When we talk about the class of 46, being marginalized, being suppressed, being intimidated, being refused to be taking place for the last 5 months, we call them Goggle Common. That were on the basis of activism. A policeman is not a political man. So the CDC Council of Patriots is the Liberian people only political civil rights movement. In the vanguard, we meet at the barricade to ensure that all of the promises of the Boaké School administration comes to fruition. That is the essence of democracy. And people are all got to exist, because as long as we exist, we bring about check and balance across all 3 branches of government. So the CDC Council of Patriots is a Liberian people movement, and we are here for as long as possible to hold this government feet to the fire.
Well, thanks a lot. It's been a great opening. The rest of the panelists will join the show tonight. It's going to be a great conversation. I want to welcome Marie. Marie, thanks for joining us tonight. Bila Soiree, thanks for joining the show tonight. Now, just a few questions from me, and then I'm gonna give it over to the rest of the panelists to take over from there. A lot of people have been concerned, especially since we pull up the flyer. You know, the first question that a lot of people have been asking is, the former president, President George Weah, said he doesn't recognize this group. He doesn't know of any group called CDC Council of Patriots. And some of the questions that folks were asking is, why do we still have Council of Patriots when in fact even the former president, who is the standard bearer of the CDC, says he doesn't recognize this group?
You know, Nelson, is quite unfortunate that the vast majority of those who claim to know all, the so-called intellectual know-all group from the Unity Party angle, who are major celebrants of this statement. But it's sad to say that they misinterpreted the statement of His Excellency President George Weah. President Weah stated, he clearly indicated that he do not know of the CDC COP, and when you are in his party, you become a sedition. That was a clear statement. Like the SG rightly said in his introductory message, he made it crystal clear. The CDC COP is an authentic grassroots civil rights political movement advocating for good governance for the Liberian people and keeping the feet pressuring the government to deliver on the bread and butter issues. And if the government fails to deliver on that, we take patriotic actions to ensure that the right thing is done. So President Weah's statement, I mean, it does not teach anything about the existence of the CDC COP. President Weah being the most popular Liberian, the political leader and a phenomenal transformer in this country, the beacon, the icon of peace and stability, does not know all of the millions of our compatriots who support him. And again, President Weah also do not stop the views of Liberians, the existence of diverse patriotic institutions operating in the country. We are not bootlickers, like the SG said. We are authentic. We are not like the others who claim to be neutral or independent when deep down they support it. There's some of the folks who say they are voices from exile who were clearly supporting Mr. Boaka, but claim to be independent. For us, we say we support the philosophy of Dr. George Manuel. And if you conduct elections today, the CDC COP still believe that His Excellency Dr. George Weah is the best person suited to move the country and to solve the current crisis we're facing. Now let's go to the issue. The CDC COP is here to stay. We have an ideological alignment with the Congress for Democratic Change and concomitantly the Coalition for Democratic Change. CDC COP advocated for free tuition. President Weah delivered on it. We said we need roads to be built to enhance economic growth. President Weah championed the cause for massive road development in the country. We talked about electricity, he attacked it.
Yeah, so
CDC COP and CDC have an ideological alignment.
Okay,
that
so
cannot be changed by any individual.
You're not an auxiliary of the CDC, but you have an ideological alignment, and that's why the former president did not recognize you as an auxiliary, but he rather sees you. He saw you as members of the CDC and not auxiliary not an auxiliary of the CDC. Now, the final question, and then I'm going to go over to the rest of the guys. Yeah, for the I know you want to come in, but let me just throw this one in. It's been about 4 months into this administration, 4 months into the Unity Party regime. What's your honest evaluation of the performance of this government, this administration that the Liberian people voted for overwhelmingly, massively, miserably defeated the CDC at the ballot box, voted for this government? What's your honest evaluation of the performance of this government? Maybe you want to come first, because you wanted to say something before I threw in the question, and then Ben can end up with that. Then we move to Francis to ask the first question. Vasco, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on.
Thank you, Nelson.
Fode, can you hear me? Fode is not coming through. So Ben, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So
so quickly.
Okay.
So
Fode.
quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, Fode, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Hello?
You getting me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Are you getting me now?
I can hear you, Fode.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, he has a delay.
The Boaka internet.
Okay, so let's start with you, Ben. Fode, you're gonna come in next, but let's start with Ben because we operate in time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Nelson, you know, we're using Boaka and Kun internet, so you gotta consider it. How the internet looking on Boaka. So if we are to X-ray the Boaka administration 5 months incumbency, I describe it as a disaster. It is a grave disaster that struck the country. In 100 days, what we saw in the country is massive deacceleration of the gains. Now, counting 5 months down, what we're seeing by Mr. Boaka is grave violations of the laws of the state. Grave violations of the laws of the state. Police brutality. When Liberians came out in Grand Cape Mount County to advocate for a decent work environment, Mr. Boaka police boss, Gregory Coleman, led men to Cape Mount and peaceful citizens who were advocating for their bread and butter issues. They just benefit what they labor for, were shot and killed. Even a kid, a young child, became a major victim of the situation. Not only that, we also saw the gruesome attack of a resident of the Pinsville 72nd Junction community who was beaten to death by a police officer. We watched that. While Liberians converged at the ministerial complex to ask Mr. Boaka's Commerce Minister Amin Moda to intervene in the height of increase in the price of rice, our staple food, they were greeted with massive police brutality. And some of those young Liberians who held them, who went out to call on Mr. Boaka through his Minister of Commerce, they were jailed, illegally detained, without food. We saw that violation. The country is turning into a police state. When you look at the LPRC today, the LPRC is occupied by the Secretary General of the Unity Party, Amos Twe. Amos Twe is serving as LPRC boss and simultaneously or concomitantly serving as the Secretary General of the Unity Party. Those were things that the Unity Party condemned in yesteryears. When you look around the country, there are hundreds of Liberians' homes burning on a daily basis. People are dying. Over 50 Liberians lost their life in fire disaster. Mr. Boaka and Jeremiah Kun have been very disrespectful, very heartless and insensitive, not to even check on a single Liberian who was the victim. The greatest insult received as a country was to have a controversial high school graduate in a camera boy of Delon, now sitting as the deputy for administration at fire service. Those are things that they labor as incompetent in years back. But now since Mr. Boaka is in charge now, and you have Kun on the other side, so those things are no longer sad. There's no one talking about that. There's no rule of law. People Mr. Boaka appointed his party faithful who wore campaign t-shirts and caps to tenure positions. The Supreme Court intervened and said, no, Mr. Boaka, this is not how you go. You are violating the laws of the state and rule. Mr. Boaka went back and Nicodemusly appointed his party faithful, the party owner and others to the LTA. Today, Emma Glasgow is torture. Today, you have Liberia's diplomats stream at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Service Institute, University graduate serving. You deprive them. They're going to fight more accelerate disgrace in the country.
We want to be as brief as we can on these questions because we have so many panelists. They're just
Nelson. So to close up on this point, we to describe the Boaka's Kun incumbency 5 months on a review, we can clearly say this to you that the country gains has been degenerated. Liberia has gone down the slope. And if care is not taken, this country that is autopiloting will crash. And we as country-minded patriots will not allow the country to crash. We will stand up to face Mr. Boaka and Kun to ensure that they stop the tyrannical form of government. It must stop. That is
Thank
our
you,
work
Ben.
to ensure that it stops.
Let's move to Foley at this time. Foley, I will appreciate if you were to respond to this in 1 minute, so we get the rest of the panelists coming on. So go ahead, sir. Your honest evaluation of this administration, her performance over the period of 4 months. Foley, can you hear me?
Am I live?
Yeah, you're okay.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, did you get the question? Did you get the question I just asked? No, you are muted, Foley. Can you unmute? Can you unmute, sir? Can you kindly unmute? Can you? Okay.
I think it's okay now,
I
right?
see you unmute. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So, firstly, the CDC Council of Petra declares Liberia has a failed and unsafe state under the Bracket School administration for their last 5 months in leadership. And when we say fail and unsafe, it boils down to some few cardinal indicators. One of the essential components of any democracy or a state is a rule of law. Let's forget about the usual political side traction. The rule of law under Mr. Barker and the Kun administration have degenerated into a lawless state. And if care is not taken, this country might plunge into backwardness, and the country might be at a point that there might be another unfortunate situation here that we experienced 14 years before. Now, let us go to the rule of law. Mr. Barker violated the Code of Conduct, Section 10.1, that talk about declaring your assets before taking office. Mr. Barker didn't do that. It took 2 weeks. Out of the 2 weeks, he went to LACC, submitted a file wherein he failed to publish his asset. But this is a man who are living on loan. There's a man who is now buying properties around town, flying private jets. Mr. Barker also violated Article 90 of the Code of Conduct, especially through his vice president, Jeremiah Kun, that talks about you cannot receive gifts on an official function as a government official. Mr. Kun was seen on a luxury private jet, and he claimed that his friend from Ghana gave him a private jet. That was a violation of the Constitution. Mr. Barker government also violated Article 34 of the Constitution of Liberia that talk about loans should be initiated, formulated with the legislature. Mr. Barker and his public minister, a 22.4 million in model road fund project, a water contract to dubious and corrupt company. Today, those rules are non-parable. Wherein Mr. Barker also violated a subsection 10 of the NAFA Act, wherein he tried to threaten and intimidate the Director General at NAFA. Mr. Barker also violated.
Let me just come here.
Article 12 of the NOCA new review law. The new review law says the president of NOCA, the CEO of NOCA.
I know there's a little bit of delay from your end, right? I know there's a little bit of delay from your end. But now, as you're outlining those different issues, especially when trying to evaluate this government or performance, you spoke of the issue of a violation of the Code of Conduct, asset declaration. You should do it before taking office. But I know that there's a grace period of 30 days. But aside from that, you spoke of the issue of gifts, which is also a violation of the law. And then you spoke of the loan issue with the loan issue. You spoke of the public works 22.4 million. But again, someone may be asking as to what were your own stance, your position when similar situations occurred under the previous administration? Take, for example, the plane Obonkoko, the friend of the former president, when there was this flight from this Gambian, not Gambian, but what's his name? It's escaping me. But this businessman who offered the president a flight, and that became a major point of discussion. Asset declaration again under the previous administration was an issue, to a point where even the former president did not declare before taking office, and at a point he had to send a caveat to his officials warning them to declare the asset. If not, he was going to take some actions. What were your stance, your position on these issues when they happened on the previous administration? Since in fact we want to now criticize this administration. That's just the last one for me. Then I give it off to
Nelson. When you're going to approach a woman and you tell her that your pa la billionaire or your pa in America, it becomes of essence and necessity that your pa who is a billionaire in America should be able to carry the girl on cruise, should be able to carry her to the luxury hotel, should meet her expectation in a confine as a billionaire son. Mr. Walker perforce to be a political Jesus that was so perfect. You see, whenever people want to ask the question, what is the answer? They know the essence of the conversation we are here is based on those who in authority. George Weah is no longer president. These were some of the contradictions that made the Liberian people to make their decision the way it go. So, in as much as the CDC and Mr. Weah were victim of that, it now becomes an utmost necessity for. Oh, so what is the essence of change? No, unless you can be asking such a question. That is why I wanted to list as many as 25 violations of the rule of law. You see, in a country that refuses to respect the rule of law, such a country is bound to fail, because the only authority Mr. Bwake has is the rule of law, the Constitution of Liberia. So if Mr. Bwake can continue to violate the Constitution of Liberia, it tells that this country is not safe. So Nelson, it is ignorance for people to see the law and say they don't want to advocate for it. They had their debate yesterday. Why were they arguing about? They were arguing about Gucci shoe. We are arguing on the basis of the rule of law that have been violated grossly and disrespected by this Bwake Kun administration. And that, and that is the centerpiece of our argument. The law have been
Francis, it's over to you. Your 2 questions quickly, sir.
Yeah, I'm very proud to be here with our colleagues, Ben and Fode. Nice to meet you guys. Never met you guys before. It's my first time seeing you. You guys sound very smart guys. And I'm excited to hear that you guys are advocacy group advocating for the Liberian people. And for those of us outside of Liberia, we really appreciate advocacy in Liberia, because we really needed that. So I really, really applaud you guys for that. But I just want to get to know you guys and get to know what you guys are about. Because when I heard you guys were coming, I said, let me look up these young fellows, to just know what they are about. And I saw a lot of things, but just I was drawn to certain things. Because you guys mentioned that, you are not an auxiliary group of CDC, but you align with President Weah political ideology. Am I right to say that?
No, let's correct that. We are not an auxiliary of the CDC, but we believe in the ideology of the CDC. It is the CDC that manifests President Weah's vision and actions for better Liberia.
Good. Thanks for that correction. I appreciate that. Sometimes with all the explanation, things get lost through the week. I appreciate that. But what I want to know here is this, right? Back in June 7th of 2020, you guys had a massive protest in Liberia called Save the State, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and that was during the administration of former President George Weah, correct? So you got a protest to save the state. Then August 31st, you guys broke up of that same year, broke up from with your support from CPP, And then September of 2020, you guys broke away from the COP and joined CDC. So I want to know, my brother, advocating for our people from June 7th of 2020, save the state. Our country was really in trouble because I followed up with it. It was one of my proudest moments in Liberia to see Liberia really protesting in mass number to save the state. I was outside. I was very proud. And now you guys align with the CDC ideology, which supports President Weah. So what changed between June 7th of 2020 to September, when you guys were breaking up with your groups that you guys were with, to now believe fully in the CDC, and then coming to July 26th of 2022, when the SUP students were protesting, say, fix the country, you guys came out a banner, President Weah is fixing the country. So I want to know, from save the state to he is fixing the country, but that was just in June, July. In 3 months, you guys went from save the state to President Weah, we are yours. Are you guys for sale?
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Francis. And this is the question that we've been eagerly waiting for. Yes, we have President Weah. You see, for us, we're authentic. Like we told you, we're not like the flip floppers and those who sit at the fence and hide their identity. For us, we come with both faces and we have one identity. The identity we bring to the national discourse is that we're here for the Liberian people. We do not believe in individual. We do not believe in, we're not seeking personal power or seeking a greener pasture. We're authentic. The June 7th protest then was to tell President Weah that there are basic goods and services the Liberian people want. We advocated for roads, and we saw President Weah focusing on the interconnection of every country. We said we needed the best way to redeem the young people in this country.
Sorry, but I want to stick to that time frame of.
If you ask a question, Francis, you are the interviewer. I'm the interviewee. So you have to be the interviewer, and I serve as the interviewee and provide the answers. So okay,
I want to stay within the confines, not to go outside of that time frame. From June 7th to September of 2020. I'm
a trained cartridge. You ask a question and I'm answering your questions. You ask about the historicity or what informed June 7th then, what informed, and Weah is facing the country. So we're trying to provide the information for you. So you have to listen to get the information. You are the interviewer. Let me be the interviewee. Like I stated earlier, the essence of June 7th was to tell President Weah that the Liberian people need massive development. The young people of this country need access to education. There are poor Liberian families sleeping in dilapidated shelters, and we needed those things done. What did President Weah do? President Weah acted as a practical leader. He moved in. He ensured that if they already slogan biomedicine, he accelerated it. In fact, he started work effective immediately. He took the Kota Road to Lofa. It is the man who the state-of-the-art Rabat International Airport, the 4-lane road. He did that. He provided micro loans to Liberian-owned businesses across the country, the agriculture sector, the rule of law.
We have limited time, and I have one more question because we have limited time.
To answer your question, President Weah was a respect of the Liberian people, and he listened to the Liberian people quest. And today, I'm coming. So to this day, in 5 months of the Black Hole incubator, it is the Weah project that is still being circulated across the country. Nothing you have seen.
Francis.
Time is June 7th of 2020 from Save the State.
Guys,
so you moved to CDC in September of 2020. What changed from Save the State? What did he do between June 7th to September 2020 that caused you to say, yes, we are for George
Francis, let's do this. Francis, let's do this. We're allotting 1 minute to our guests to answer the questions. When we ask the question, let's give the guests a chance to answer the question so that the other panelists can be able to ask. with so many on set, you're just the first person. Emmy has joined us. Our co-host Moba has joined us as well. So, so Francis, yeah. So Francis, your question and I think your first question has been answered, right? Your first question has been answered. Can we move
state on June 7th of 2020?
So Nelson, we're going to the July 26th.
September of 2020. What changed from Save the State to September?
Okay. Great question, Francis. Let's give Ben. Can you take 30 seconds to just respond to this?
Okay, thank you, Nelson. You see, yes, Nelson. That's what I said. Francis, you just asked the question and allow us answers. We are your guests. And let me be emphatically clear. The essence of us having ideological alignment with the CDC and its political leader, His Excellency President George Manawia, is simply because even you on the Spoon Radio fabric here at the show, you're all aware that President Weah performed and delivered and tackled every sector, whether infrastructure, education, the economy. President Weah performed the best in the shortest period of time than any other president combined. Our decision then to support his philosophy was because he was delivering. And till today's date, our decision is still validated because all of the projects in the country now, if there's anything, United Party government are not being able to come up with anything new, not even an agenda, rescue is just a charade. You are still driving on the pro agenda. That's why you're still working on. Then we go to July 26th. We move to July 26th.
Francis, can you come in with
July 26th.
I'll move on my second question.
July 26th,
he's not answering my first question. So
okay, let me talk on July 26th.
No. Guys,
let's talk on July 26th.
Let's something on my first question. I'll move to my second question. Because I think he's intentionally evading my first question.
Okay, so Francis, can you ask your second question? So
my second question, I'm not sure, Ben, are you there, Ben, that works for currently works for the MCC?
Well, to ask Francis, who is on this platform, excuse me. No, listen, Francis, for me to be on this platform and ask, I'm not talking to Francis on this show on Fabric Radio. I mean, it sounds paradoxical. We've come here to this. I mean, you gotta be serious when you're on the radio. You gotta be very serious here. We come here.
I'm not looking at you at MCC.
People in breaking our country. Respect is high. People homes are burning, and you come on the radio to talk about. So I mean, you gotta be serious, my brother Francis. I'll be serious here.
Thank you.
Nelson, I think we have question. I was not doing my question, but the brother's not going to come and spew any kind of statement here. If you see me on the platform, you cannot say president. Are you the president on this platform while looking at me?
Thank you.
I can ask question about a place of work. I'm not seeing you at your workplace. So as a yes or no, you can choose not to answer the question. So I will ask
Francis,
are you the bento by the coroner worked at MCC?
Francis, you gotta be careful. Don't be like Jerelima Pierre, who is a disinformation minister. You gotta start Jerelima Pierre in the show.
What I meant?
You gotta start Jerelima Pierre in the show with misinformation there.
As usual.
So is the answer of the show to did you come on the platform to start a low? I don't know. Let me tell you something. Listen, Francis, you got to have second place. You are embarrassing the platform.
Let's do this. We have an audience.
Francis, you are embarrassing your colleagues.
We have an audience to serve. There are so many people glued to the radio now, so many people watching the show. We have to do justice to them.
Nelson, I will be a second question, but I just want to prove that these guys can be bought and sold to the highest bidder. Because on June 7th of 2020, Save the State to September of 2020, Zigba, I was there, Buka Dancer, we are for you. These guys are sold to the highest bidder. And you're not answering the question that I asked him.
Thank you, Francis. Let's only move to Marie, Francis.
Let's give or who he is.
Marie is the term. Marie is the term.
They have no credibility in that country.
These people as our guest, Francis, we asked the question. We need to give the guest time to answer the question. If you have any follow-up to do, When the guest is done answering the question, you can do your follow-up, guys. Let's make this conversation.
You want to respect us by answering the question, not refusing to answer the question and trying to tell me embarrassing the platform.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me embarrass myself.
You guys can decide whether or not
answering my question, but not answering.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Marie, can you go ahead? Your 2 questions.
Thank you, Nelson. I don't have one. I would like to state based on what these 2 individuals said on this platform. You know,
you said you don't have a question?
I don't have a question. I would like to.
Okay. So can we come back to you? Can we come back to you?
No.
Well, Nelson, she has a statement. Why can't she make her statement?
It's impossible for me to ask. I will ask a question. Mr. Ben, I would like to ask you, because you stated just now that our brother Francis is an embarrassment to the platform. And in my opinion, if anybody is embarrassing, it's you guys, for individuals that call for a shutdown of Spoon Network to come on here shamelessly to talk about political ideologies. Shamelessly, I would like to know, how do you guys feel being on a platform that you was paid to come and shut down, now giving out your cheap propaganda that you want the Liberian people to believe? Please. And then
let me say this to you, Marie. Marie, the people joke too much in this country, and I'm sure you sound different. I'm sure you're somewhere far. But let me say this to you, Marie. We got to be serious in this country. You do not politicize the death of people. Marie, you do not politicize the increase in the price of rice. You got to be very careful, Marie. Marie, there are a lot of young women being raped across the country. You do not politicize. Marie, let me tell you this. The essence of these platforms, Marie, the essence of these platforms is for us to have intellectual exchange. It's for us to cross-pollinate ideas.
Marie, let's give our guest a chance to answer the question, please.
And Marie, you being a panelist on the show, I'm very confident that the essence for which you are on this platform is to ensure that all voices are heard and that we, as Liberians from all walks of life, contribute to the national debate.
Were you not aware that to be heard when you suggested that the platform be shut down?
Let me say that
needed to be heard.
Okay, so I think that's a question.
Let me say this to you, Marie. No, Marie, let me say this to you. At the level of being a panelist, there's more you need to do, Marie. The bread and butter issue. Waka is breaking the laws in the country. It's dangerous. People are dying. There's fire disaster all over the place. The police are killing people. The DEA, when you look at the DEA, let me say this to you, Marie. Do you know that the DEA, there is serious brutality in the administration of the DEA, Marie? And you're not talking about that, Marie? Marie, you don't take the time, you don't talk about the brutality at the DEA.
Okay, quickly.
And you eat America again.
Quickly, Sister Marie.
Okay. So,
Sister Marie.
Just to conclude on this, we're gonna move to Vasco next.
I'm more than happy to ask you my next question if you would like me to.
Nothing.
Marie, can I ask your final question? Vasco, please. So can I ask your next question?
Why? You guys need to, for me, I know the definition of patriotism, the word patriotic, right? And the way you guys define patriotism is as if it's supposed to be to individual party. You are supposed to be vigorously in support of your country, not an individual, not a political party, but you guys choose to be in support of a political party. How can you sit on this platform and call yourself a patriot?
Okay.
Please tell me, how can you sit on this platform?
Can you respond to that? So
when you
I mean,
are supporting a political party.
Thank you.
It's not only
So further you can respond to that.
One political party to another political party before. This is not your first political party. So there is no patriotism here.
Okay, so thank you, Mary. And let me just say this. Let me just say this before we move on, guys. The conversation, Anthony, welcome to the show. The conversation here is about our country. We can have diversity of views and all of that, but I want us to calm down.
Okay.
Let's engage this as a conversation about our country, and let's get the most out of this. So, further, you can go ahead, answer the question you have.
I think Mary asked the question. Nelson, can I answer Mary?
Yeah, go ahead, answer Mary.
Yeah. All right. Mary Keto, you are very beautiful. Your face look very bright tonight. But here's the reality. You know, I understand your emotions. I understand our history. I understand the role we play. It's like a comfortable role for so many people. So when I see people want to bring and their verbosity and their emotion, I understand. But here's what I want to say. Our disagreement on a single issue will not be a deal breaker to say that the CDC Council of Patriots will not collaborate and realign with any well-meaning Liberian for the forwardness of the Liberian people. Oh yeah, we did call down for Spoon FM to be shut down. We do so 1,000 times. When you try to mention about patriotism was when Spoon FM allowed the platform to be used as a conduit to insinuate misinformation, propaganda, lies.
Aligning with
Okay, thank you, guys.
Let me answer my question now.
Vasco.
So when Spoon FM allowed the platform at that moment to be used as a conduit,
by aligning with a political party ideology, that is not patriotism. It has nothing.
Okay, for let me say something to Marie. We do not align with political party over the country. Here's our point. Marie, our focus in the CDC COP is to advocate for good governance and fight against bad governance. Let me say this to you. We challenge Mr. Boakai. Let me say that. We throw this up as a challenge.
It's wrong.
Marie,
but don't.
Marie, let's throw this up as a challenge. If Mr. Boakai can step in, respect the rule of law, get those people like Patrick and others out of the tenure position, respect the rule of law, police brutality ceased, they stop the massive stealing everywhere. Today, Meta Formula store inauguration funds is being certificated. Mr. Boakai certificate Meta Formula who store inauguration for interfering with the investigation. These are some of the issues we're talking about. So until the right thing is done, Meta, is done, Marie Keta, until the right thing is done, Marie, we will continue. Our side is the Liberian people. Unfortunately, over the years, President, we are in the security affairs of this country in the interest of Liberian people. So Mr. Boakai now is challenged. Take it on from a leader of the president. We are Boakai. If Boakai do the right thing, we will appreciate our country. If he does the right, once he's doing the wrong thing, it is our responsibility to engage Mr. Boakai with whatever it takes, patriotically.
I want to hold you there. And let's move to Vasco. Vasco, can you ask your two questions, sir?
Yeah, Nelson, I don't really have questions to ask my brothers. First of all, Ben and Footed, I want to commend you guys. I'm one of the person up here, follow you guys religiously, and I love the work that you guys do. Continue on your work. But Nelson, I'm disappointed tonight in my fellow panelists. for even disrespecting Nelson as the host on this show tonight. Nelson brought guests on our show.
I'm excluded, right?
Thank you, Jesus.
So Vasco, again, someone calling you. So someone from the chat room just called you, Vasco. You see, your internet is off. But let's move to Toure. Let's hear from Toure.
God, I'm like ugly.
Vasco has an issue with his connection. He's gonna come on. Toure, welcome to the show. Your 2 questions quickly, sir.
Thank you very much, Nelson. Can you guys hear me?
Very well.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you guys for coming. My first question is actually directed to Brother Footy. So basically, you guys are telling me, or at least from what I'm hearing, because obviously I've been following the show, but I just came on, that you guys are cherry picking when it comes to your advocacy. Is that what it is?
No, that's not true. We don't cherry pick. We believe in our mind, from our own understanding.
Okay.
The current situation of the day is what we speak to. So we don't cherry pick.
Okay, now that was just part of the question. So now I just want to know from the Save the State protests, what drastically happened that President George Manuel Weah probably might have felt the pressure from that protest that all of a sudden changed your whole mind, or at least your position, to become an adamant supporter of the regime? Can you guys list some of the actions that led to you guys just swiftly, like becoming a regime supporter or regime collaborator? Well,
Fagabina, the question is good, but let me say this to you. President Weah was a victim of lies and deception and wicked propaganda. He was a victim of that. And so a group of political desperados across the country, like Mr. Boakai, felt that the best way to get it is to ensure that a propaganda is formulated against President Weah. So along the way, people were made to believe in some of those propagandas. And some of us as patriots were concerned to know, is President Weah not delivering? What are the things President Weah needs to know that the Liberian people want to hear about? So we played the role at the time patriotically. And President Weah, being a people-centered leader, took some practical actions. Today. And just to name a few, my brother, when you look around today, the road that connects Nimba to the southeast was initiated by President Weah. He started the project. The local where Mr. Boakai is from, President Weah started that project. The free tuition, the lightning, the extension of electricity, the program was support from the World Bank, the new compact that is about to be signed, if possible, if Boakai does what is expected. Ironically, he's not known for doing that. If those were the reasons that informed our decision. So like the Secretary General said, to answer your question, we are not against Liberia as a country.
Can you listen, please?
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do?
Mariba, you know, you have a voice on this here.
I understand. I understand what you're trying to do. I understand what you're trying to do. And besides, look, you are brilliant. Let me give you that. You're a great salesman, right? A great salesman. But what we're not going to allow you to do here is for you to come and take the question out of context and then try to frame it into your own liking. Answer the question. I want to know what transpired. The pressure from Save the State protests in any way made President Weah to make some drastic change, or maybe he might have succumbed to some of your some of your pressure that made him to start doing some of the things that you guys felt he was not doing.
Okay, so I think
That's
that's a
what you
final
guys
question,
should
right?
And
So
my final
that's a
question,
fine
let me just get my
question.
last question now. Let me just get my last
Yeah,
question.
just do your last question, and so
Right.
we take Anthony. Yeah.
And then my last question is, and any one of you can answer that question. Tell me exactly, because you guys are saying that in 4 months' time, that President JMB has become like a business failure. So on
Massive
6
failure.
years, that's your words, right? In 6 years, what are some of the tangibles that George Weah did in 3 areas? The economic, education, and social development. I want you to name me 3.
Okay.
Let me come in,
Yeah. So let me just do this. For I know you're starting, but please let's have you to respond in 1 minute so we can fit in the time.
Okay. You see?
Yes, sir.
We understand our being here shakes and vibrates the system in a comfortable manner. We are aware. If you can see my expression, we laugh here. We know spoon network. So our presence here irritates and shake the system. I'm aware. But trust me, there is no form of anything here can move up. Here is one of the major things that George Weah succeeded on. That if it is not for it, we will not be sitting on this platform today. An acceptance of the election result, visible evidence of over 27 electoral frauds and manipulation in Nima County.
No. First 3 months.
Over 100 in the southeast. Over 27 in.
No, guys, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
That's what I want to do. 5 6 against 1. That's what I want to do. 5 6 against 1. And who is the host? And that gives me a bear. And trust me, we can even 14%. The entire United Parties, I mean, the cream de la cream United Party Secretary General and the Secretary in general cannot
answer the question. Answer the question and stop insulting our audience.
Answer the question.
Okay. SG,
you want to have
let me make a point.
Intellectual.
Yeah, so let's do this.
Let me get a point across.
Before can you go to
let me get a point across.
Yeah, then you come in. Before can you just go to the question? Then
they don't want to go to the question. I don't know why.
They're playing in Nafo.
Yeah, please go to the question. Yeah, so
the question you ask. Listen, man. We need 3 things. I'm going to name the crust, the most important, most essential thing that George Weah did in the last 6 years. That was the maintenance of peace and stability.
Yes, 3 specific areas, brother.
Go ahead,
Nelson. Nelson, I believe Spoon Network sent us this invitation on the basis of hearing. So we can't come here and you continue to disrespect us in this.
So on a serious note, let me say this: we will not take interruption on the show anymore.
Yes,
guys, we need to stick to the rule of the show. If it is not your turn, please keep your microphones muted. This is totally unacceptable, and I don't think we should be proceeding this way. We should agree that there will be opposite views, and we should tolerate that. That's the way we can get the show going. So, Fode, can you go ahead, sir?
And so, like I said, the peace and stability through all the West Africa sub-region, no certain president will allow a minute less than 1% vote even before the final result comes from. And you see, this may accept a result. Every one of you here, or let's say your senior panelists on the scene network, they have acknowledged the fact that George Weah maintained the peace and stability. So don't forget about road development. I'm acutely aware that this particular platform will not agree to anything we say, and we are not here to make you people comfortable. Our presence here is to make you very uncomfortable. We are aware, but the maintenance of peace and stability by George Weah is the biggest takeaway. That is the reason why even this platform is here. He can do everything. He maintains the peace and stability.
Thank you, Ben. Ben, you want to come in, and then we move to Anthony. Will be next.
Nelson, before I make my position, I want to say this and to all of the panelists on the show. I'm a former media executive. I serve as program director in the media. I work on the Internews project with Moses Gazel, TC Bowling, other professional journalists, Alpha Dafa Sakleni. And I had a membership of the president of Liberia that I terminated when I was transitioning to becoming a political activist. So I just want to say this. You see, it's very important as the panelists and interviewee. Whenever you're interviewing someone, you ask the question, you have to allow the person to provide the answers. Because the thing about it, you have the opportunity to control the platform, but we are not just talking for you. Spoon FM is widely listened to. So we're speaking for a cross section of people, so you got to give us a chance to get the information across. We're not just here to please your ears. Another thing I want to say is this. Aristotle said, the first mood of a man determines the rest of his mood. The 5 years down, taking into consideration the performance of Mr. Boaka and Kun, we can safely say this to you. In consideration to Aristotle's statement that the remaining 5 years and 6 months, if possible, Boaka has already failed. When you damage the foundation of a building, it is difficult to correct it at the top because all you're going to achieve is to see it collapse.
Thank you.
So
Ben.
we have to get this on record and let us stop joking with the Liberian people, Israel, Marie, and all of you. It's about our country, Marie Francis. It is not. You know what carried the country backward 14 years? The 14 years of civil unrest is because people were bootlegging. Some of you are here to please Mr. Boaka, we understand, but do not compromise the integrity of this platform because of your personal feelings and support to Boaka. And that is why some of us go against the platform. When the platform try to compromise with teach, Boaka is a criminal. So you don't want to compromise the platform for Mr. Boaka.
Come on here. No, guys, let's do this. Guys, I'm not you this. No, guys, let's do this. Anthony will come in, but
But Stanton is doing well to maintain the show. And we gotta recognize that. We may not let Stanton work.
Guys. I don't want to put the back, but we have to do this. We have to do this, right? In the first place, the president is the president of the Republic of Liberia. We have to refer to him as president of the Republic of Liberia. Former President George Weah is the former president of this country. We have to give him that due courtesy.
Okay, Nelson, let me take that. Nelson, permit me to take that to consideration. And let me say this. We recognize His Excellency President Boaka. And there's something I said. I said we may not agree with Mr. Waterspoon Stanton on all of the issues, but with this issue of our country, where Mr. Stanton Waterspoon provide this media institution to allow Liberians from all ways of life to come and be heard. On this note, we say thanks to Mr. Waterspoon Stanton. But I mean, where CDC COP can have problem from Nelson and to all of you is when you want to use Spoon FM to be a toothless bulldog that will defend Joe Boaka, then it become an issue. As long as Mr. Waterspoon can maintain the sanity of this platform, we cooperate with it.
The guests will not come yet. The guests will not come yet, Nelson.
Let's go ahead now.
Nelson, the guests will not come on yet and try to use words and phrases that are disgraceful.
And you allowing it, Nelson?
No,
that's
guys, we can't do this. It's Anthony's turn. Anthony, can you come on? Ask your 2 questions because we have to wrap up now.
I'm right here, guys. Good evening to all. I know everybody assumed that I was a Unity Party man because I appear on the show. Mind you, I got 2 questions for our fellow guests here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm a Liberian just as you are. Every one of us have equal right to support which side we want to be on. I have nothing personal against anyone. I'm here to discuss national issue. Don't take anything against me. Address the issue only, please. So, the House of Representatives of Liberia currently is under the leadership of the CDC. And in the national budget of the 2024 under President Boaka leadership, there is a little over $13 million allocated for lawmakers, quote unquote, legislative projects. Under our Constitution, it is unconstitutional for a lawmaker to take a project. It is not even part of the occasional functions of the lawmakers. So, but they went into cahoots. And currently, CDC have more lawmakers in both chambers of the legislature than any other political party in Liberia. And as what's the name? COP, CDC COP political activist, what do you stand on this issue for a speaker who is from your party sharing on the national budget and passing a legislation or passing the national budget with a put project, what we would call put project in America, wherein lawmakers now going to have 100,000 each for all representatives. Each representative will receive 100,000 United States dollars and 150,000 for each senator, and that has passed in this current 2024 budget. That's question number one. What do you
think? Is the question directed to
the COP guys?
So one person can decide to answer the question for the sake of time.
Yeah. Where do you stand?
Yes, sir. I think the host mute me.
No, you are okay. Let me see if I can unmute you, but I think you're okay.
Are you?
Okay, so Ben, you can take that question. Why Fode tries to?
CDC had the highest amount of lawmakers in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, and they just passed the national budget. And the Speaker of the House is a citizen.
Yeah, I think he got the question.
Well, let me say this to you.
Good.
The passage of the national budget. We want to talk about the CDC speaker or CDC legislator. So when you want to analyze the issue about the national budget, you see, I like that. It's a very smart question, and I like how you ask the question. When you want to discuss the issue about the national budget, you see that as a national instrument, and you see the CDC speaker and the CDC lawmakers in the majority. Now, for the sake of this debate, when there are national issues surrounding governance, surrounding the violation of the rule of law, surrounding police brutality, increase in rice price. No, I'm coming. Bad and misgovernance. You do not come with the courage, tenacity, and fortitude to say this is Mr. Bwaka's responsibility. But when it comes to the national budget, you believe that the decisions rendered with that legal instrument is solemnly, wholly, religiously resting on the shoulders of the speaker and CDC lawmakers in majority. Was it the speaker that asked for unorthodox millions to spend it on so-called salaries payment? Is it the speaker that requested for that? You see, we got to stop playing here.
All right,
we got to stop playing.
I got my follow-up question. Let me hold you there.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, your second question.
My second question. My brother. First of all, the country is struggling. The University of Liberia don't have good benches. The building is deplorable and everything. Some students on the floor. A lawmaker is going to take that money to himself or to herself. It's not national project. It's not national project. That money I spoke about going to each lawmaker. Each representative will receive 100,000 United States dollars. Each senator will receive 150,000 United States dollars. That's not national money. That's lawmaker money. It's not about national projects. It's about lawmaker projects. You understand?
Let me say this to you.
Listen, hold on. Hold your peace.
Yeah, let's give Anthony the chance. Anthony, just wrap the question.
So if you're patriotic Liberian, forget about political party. If you're Liberian, who believe that the fabric of Liberia should expand, that every Liberian will have a better Liberia, regardless of your political party, you will now put a spin on this thing. You will be outraged just as I am. You will be angry because this make no sense. For lawmakers are already getting a medical doctor spend 8 years in school and get paid $1,200, $1,300, maximum $2,000 United States dollars. A man who dropped out of high school, become a lawmaker, and make $15,000. Is it fair? It's not fair. On top of that, hold on. I'm going
yeah, but Anthony, you need to ask your question because we have Soiree and Emin. They're yet to
now,
Vasco as well.
Last year they got 30,000. We scream on them. They flip that 30,000 around. It become 100,000 from the 30,000 to extra 70,000 on top of it. You understand? And these guys, this is not national budget. It is insurance into the national budget, but it's not for a national project. This is for lawmaker. So I give you a second chance now, so you can explain. Where do you stand?
No, Anthony, it's not a second chance. I responded to your question. You asked a follow-up question, so we'll go to the follow-up question. Let me say this to you.
Where is your loyalty? Is it to your party or to your country, Liberia?
Firstly, you made mention of the budget. You talk about some 100,000 disbursed among lawmakers. Now let me go to the issue. You see, I like your energy, I like your exuberance. But now listen, when Mr. Bwaka requested for $40 million, the whole country watched that it was unorthodox. We raised the issue CDC COP. Not a single day. You see, Anthony, when people like you,
our lawmaker take $30 million.
Anthony, when Mr. Bwaka and somebody say President Bwaka.
I don't support Bwaka. I'm not a Bwaka supporter.
No, I didn't say so.
Okay, I'm just.
What I'm telling you, I'm saying this to you, Anthony. When Mr. Bwaka requested,
he is the president,
for $40 million unorthodox outside of the budget, and said he won't put some money in his pocket and pay people. When Bwaka requested for that money, it was it was unlawful.
Good.
Again, the justification of Mr. Bwaka was, well, the legislature should not strangulate the executive performance. We raised those issues. We spoke. No, I'm coming. We spoke about transparency and accountability. So you see, here's my point. You see, leadership in every institution. For example, the attitude of Mr. Stanton Waterspoon has the propensity to make Spoon FM grow or not, because he is the leader in charge there. Similarly, listen, I'm coming. No, I'm driving somewhere. You gotta protect me now.
I'm driving. You must come back to that question.
Yeah, y'all let me learn now. Let me learn on this point, please. Mr. Waterspoon being the head of Spoon FM, his innovation and leadership style will move this platform forward or it retrogress. Similarly, Mr. Bwaka is the president of the country. If Mr. Bwaka starts to go in the budget and say, you give $40 million, let me put it in my pocket, I won't pay. What any justification? What any backing by law? And do you expect? So if we are to critique issues here, if we are to speak on integrity issues, we start with the president, the commander-in-chief. It is Mr. Bwaka's responsibility. So if Mr. Bwaka himself is caught in these grave corruptions, how can he, Mr. Bwaka, have the face, the moral rectitude to go and question anyone about corruption? Bwaka is the requirement to take $40 million from the outside of the budget. Bwaka is the requirement to get certificate to Meta formula who stole or embezzled inauguration funds. We have to be serious here.
Thanks a lot, Ben.
We have to be serious.
Let's move to Vasco. You were in flight. You can just land.
Vasco already. Oh,
yeah. Vasco was in flight and his gadget went off.
Somebody.
Ugly.
Yeah, like you see, like I was saying, man.
So Marie, our man ugly. Vasco because Vasco support the country.
I just question again. Vasco now.
No, guys.
I was just talking and my guy just went off.
For the second time.
No,
Marie, something went off on his second question.
Let's give it a chance. Vasco, please conclude in 1 minute, sir.
What I mean, I'm talking.
Don't worry, I mean for me. Don't worry.
You know, tonight, this show could have been one of the best shows for us to listen and learn from our brothers. This show should have been an interactive show. Every day we sit here, we go in the chat room, you'll be yelling. So people, oh, I'm intellectual, I'm this, I'm that. Now, 2 intellectuals came on this show. Nessie asked the first clear question. Those guys broke everything down. The only option you have now to start making confusion Mumbai. And this is wrong. Because I will be on the show tomorrow. There will be other people coming here from different political parties. Y'all want me to behave like the way you behave? You know I won't do it. You answer these people, what the people said from the early beginning, like Baka was doing this, Baka was doing this to the country. That was the debate. Y'all left here start asking, oh, you working to are you the band to MCC? Is that what we came here for?
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor.
This is wrong.
Thank you, Pastor.
Don't Ben and my brother will leave the show. Maybe we'll stay here for another 10 or 15 minutes to say all we want to say, to critique what Ben said. But when we get a guest on the show, the guest should be able to explain themselves.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor.
Whether you like it or not, they should explain themselves.
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's take Bida, then Amy will be last. Bida, go ahead. Your 2 questions.
Look, thank you. And let me say hi to each and everyone, including Ben and Dara.
Why is your internet always like this, Bida? What's
I
going on?
Hope you're hearing me. I hope you're hearing me. We don't have to imagine.
The camera is not good at all. We can't see your face.
We to be messing with Bida today.
And I want to believe that the brother will hear me. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I think, and I want to believe.
Go ahead, my brother.
Moving forward, I will not be stuck. I will not be stuck by saying time. I mean, let's understand that there's no time in our favor. But quickly to Ben, I told you guys, and let me say it publicly. I told you guys that we having 2 smart guys, and basically, there has been the product of the proliferation of misinformation in our country. I told you guys from the chat room. You talk about before I ask my question quickly, I got 2 very important questions to ask. Before I ask my question, basic clarity. You talk about the government coming to power.
Go to your question. That's why you have.
Okay, quickly to my question. Yeah. You said you are a civil rights movement / supported the CDC ideology. What is the civil rights movement?
You're asking what is a civil rights movement?
Well,
is that your question? Okay.
You got me. I hope you got me clear.
Yeah. Ben is over to you. He's asking. That's his question.
Yeah, Ben. I'm speaking of Ben.
The CDC Council of Patriots is a civil rights political movement. Sorry that you came on the show late. It's a civil rights political movement. You understand that? That is the then you can ask a question. So firstly, you got to know what the CDC COP is, and then you ask the questions pertaining to the CDC Council of Patriots. We are a civil rights political movement.
So I don't want to actually go into the nitty-gritty of knowing CDC COP. That is another issue for another time. I don't want you to teach me that. But basically, I want to ask you. You was not alleged, but you was saga of the independent, the saga that took place at the American embassy, and basically you were sent to court, and there were some charges against you. You were sent to court. So how do you feel as an individual? You said you are a political right movement, along with the CDC. How do you feel butchering another individual in the name of protecting that government or that CDC? How do you feel as an individual?
Thank you, Soare. First of all, you are a victim of misinformation. Yeah, to come on this platform and say how we feel about brutalizing someone is quite unfortunate. At no point in time, the CDC Council of Patriots ever got involved in brutalizing anyone. We're peaceful young people, passionate about our country moving forward. We are not violent people. We are not perpetrators of violence. We've never been involved with brutalizing anyone. Again, this is a country where mischaracterization, lies, and deception and propaganda when people see that you are playing, let me say this to you. The role some of us play for the betterment of our country, advocating for good governance and fighting against bad governance is not something easy. When Jesus Christ came on earth to die for sinful humans, he was called lots of names. He was betrayed. People saw him. There were people who believed that he wasn't the Son of God. They had a words to say, but it did not change the position of Jesus, even Prophet Muhammad. So let me say this to you. We are not deterred by the mischaracterization, the lies and deception. You know, we were never part of any violence on July the 26th. We're decent people. We have our families. We come from good religious backgrounds, so we cannot be part of violence, and we're never. But again, it is the responsibility of those who want to think or believe whatever they want to believe about us. We don't owe them any explanation. We're authentic. I want to say this to you. The CDC COP will never, at no point in time in history, even on July 26th, we did not participate in any violence. We did not brutalize or attack any individual. It is false. It is malicious, and I stop there.
Thank you.
Your final question.
Basically, what I'm seeing here is a posture of being wanted to be provocative. And I know you guys your pillar of intellectualism has always been on the issue about wanting to be more propagandistic and not wanting to address the basic issue. But that's fine. You are the guest here to that. You talk about you being alarmed with the CDC for the people, or you speaking for the people as a political right movement. And I've read about political right movement. If even you having to support a government, what are some of the key things you talk about during the CDC-led government when it comes to bad governance?
Let me say this to you. The CDC incumbency was a patriotic revolution. It was a revolution that focused on solving the bread and butter issues of the country. We had a president who was very sensitive. When Liberians went out to protest, we had a government that was serving food and water. They were not.
I think the internet misbehaved.
Look, Nelson. I think when we having this kind of discussion, these guys need to be checkmate tested.
Exactly.
Okay? They cannot come here and be lying to people here.
Nelson,
Anthony,
the reason we can do it.
No, guys.
Anthony, the reason we can do it when we try to do it, it was spark us some noise. So let's give the brother the chance.
No, guys.
Your PAPD document, you put it on the bed, and you are not using.
We can't do this,
I memorized that document.
Ben, can you conclude? Can you conclude in 30 seconds?
Okay, so with regards to Soiree question, Soiree asked a specific question. And so the CDC COP at no point in time in this country history were ever involved in violence. We've never been involved in violence. And we supported.
Because whenever the issue of CDC COP being involved with violence is discussed, this is the graphic photo that comes up. Christopher Waters Sisulu there on the stream, and he was being brutalized by some gentlemen wearing khaki. And it is alleged that those guys were part of your group. They were part of the CDC COP. And I think this is where Soiree is coming from.
Okay, so, whenever I see this picture, it brings tears down my cheek. And I think no individual, no Liberian citizen or citizen for any walk of life, I get emotional when I see this picture. Some of us were victims of the civil crisis. So when you do these things, you take our minds. But let me say this to you. Whoever did that, you talk about people wearing khaki. Whoever did that acted unlawful. That action was unpatriotic, and it should not exist in a civilized environment. I'm a well-educated person, well-schooled, from a good religious background. I can never, ever suppose such a thing with another human being. But you see, we find ourselves in a country where the gullibility is too much, and where propagandas are created. Imagine, brother Nelson, let me tell you something. If human beings could convince Pilate Where Pale had all of the power and still said, you're crucified Jesus. You talking about Ben Tokba? You talking about Joshua Carr? You talking about Aaron Kofachi? You talking about Forden Massacre? Let me say this to you. If Jesus Christ can be crucified with just through lies and propaganda, what are you talking about? Let me say this to you. They said the truth crushed to the ground shall rise. And there's the reason why. This is the reason why, we have a clear conscience. There's a reason why no amount of lies, deception, we were tortured by police, taken to jail and all of that. It did not, because we come with a very clean heart. The man who we support politically, President Weah, is a man of peace. There's no way you can support a man of peace and be violent. We're not violent people. We are a patriotic civil rights movement.
Because of time, we want to move to Emmy, our co-host, to ask the final 2 questions. Emmy, can you go ahead?
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Thank you, guys. Nelson, well, maybe we'll do that later. But we're here, Ben and the other guy left, right? Like Anthony had already said, I know when you see people speaking against certain things, you'll try to put them in one basket to say they are this, they are that. But some of us, we are advocates of Liberians. We are not political party people or whatever. I live in the U.S. I don't have any voting rights. So I don't want you to see me as one. And, there's a lot of things I've been saying.
I will bring you to vote for CDC 2029.
God forbid that there was a lot. But anyways, there's some things I would say here tonight that is really, really disturbing that I just want to go over some of them, even though they have been asked, but you guys were never answering any questions. You were just lecturing us. So I would try some of them again. Maybe I can be lucky this time around. Okay. So because during those days, Jesus Christ days, there were no video footages. So those people got away with what they did. But thank God for 2023 and 24, we have video footages. Okay, so on the question that Suarez just added, this last question. I seen your brother's photo that was here, cleared it on the video at the embassy on that day, celebrating, and it said, so when you said that you guys were never part of any of this, and you telling me about your religious background and all of that, and I'm kind of confused. I'm confused here. What do you want us to, these videos, are you telling us that they were AI generated, or were these video footages that were really taken from the embassy or something, or the propaganda that you speak of? They created these videos.
Thank you very much. But you see, you're on the show today. You're on the platform, and unfortunately, you have not been able to display a video of the CDC Council of Patriots orchestrating the alleged violence you talk about. You have had a couple of years. This thing has been 2 years now running, and you are yet to come up with any evidence, a picture or a video indicating that, this is what CDC COP did. You try mentioning the Secretary General. There is nowhere in the country history you will see Forden Massacre picture or video associated with violence. Not Ben Tokba, not Joshua Carr, not Christiana Koyu, not Aaron Kofachi. It's not possible. We're not associated to that. So no matter what you do, we're in the 21st century, right? Where we get all the electronic gadgets, the device. No, we're never. It doesn't matter how you even create it in your mind. You can even sit down and think that, CDC COP, you can imagine us to be whatever you want. But it does not change the fact, it does not hide our real identity. Nelson, as a journalist, have known some of us for a very long time. And I think, and not only that, there are thousands of Liberians listening to us on this platform. This platform is widely listening to, who know some of us true character. We come from different educational backgrounds, religious backgrounds, decent families. We've never been involved. But the thing about this country, the stereotype here, when President Weah was in charge, all the supporters of Joseph Boakai, they said the George Weah was not the right man to lead the country. So anything could be politicized, anything could be used to come against anyone. So those of us who said President Weah is doing the right thing and we support him, we became victims of their propaganda, their lies, their wicked lies and propaganda. We became the victim. So today's day, all of y'all who can talk to you, you're talking, oh, CDC COP this, the data, you get video, you can show nothing, you got no evidence. So we got to stop this thing.
Thank you very much.
Defaming people and using propaganda to tear people down.
Thank you very much, Ben. Emmy, you want to come in with the final question? Now,
I noticed from the beginning of this show, you always mention former President Weah as President Weah, and you mentioned JMB as Mr. Boykai. Mr. Boykai now is the president. He's President Boykai. George Weah is former President Weah. You since this show started, I noticed that. So maybe you still in a little sleep. You haven't woken up yet, just to let you know. But yeah,
Y'all let title been too much in the country. I mean, I call your title on the show, yeah. My man Nelson. Marie calling the man name. Marie, but talk true. I call your president, I call his name.
Don't say
your president. The current president as President Waka.
Guys, we have to move on. I think with this, we are about to go to the phone lines to take just few calls from our folks out there. But again,
so if you can I'm not done. If you can go ahead and call President Weah, I think you can do the same for if the title is not important, you will say George Weah. But let's move on. I'm a little confused. You say you're an advocate, you are civil rights, this and that. The civil rights advocates that I have known over my little life, time of living, I never saw any of them attached to a political party. How do you want the Liberian people to take you seriously if you worshiping some of the people that have been named as human rights abuser and have been indicted by the U.S. government as unsanctioned in President Jefferson Koji and them? We've seen you surrounding him, calling him this and going by there, and you calling yourself a human rights, civil rights advocate. And you follow Liberian people. How are they supposed to take you seriously if you align yourself, calling yourself a CDC COP? Even the CDC, the George Weah that you call him president, and disrespecting the president now, he just owned you guys. But this is the group that you attached to, and you telling us that you're speaking for the Liberian people. How do you then want us to take you seriously, Mr. Tokwa?
Okay, quickly. I want to stream a video here. All right.
Thank you.
I want to play a video here.
I may say the video does not exist. See how you respond.
No, I don't want us to be prejudgmental.
I mean, you got no video in your phone of me perpetrating violence. Gotta stop that. You got no video. I challenge you on the show.
We're talking about people within your circle.
My man Anthony, Anthony, y'all gotta be clear, man. Y'all got something to do on the show, my brother.
People in the circle, so follow the main group.
Who went here today? They won't want to tell what to ask questions.
Okay. Emmy, let's do this. Let's play a portion of this video because we are already almost out of time. So let's play a portion, just a portion of this particular video here. Okay, so I think I got it.
We the fucking
Oh, la mía, no, losing bro, don't forget people. I'm gonna show you out. I see me there. Yeah.
So one of them, but the guy from the Sudan Unification Party, they attacked. Yeah, but he's a journalist. Guy's a journalist. Excuse me, he's a journalist. Go, please. The man a journalist. Go. I'm going to take a picture of him. So what's your name, my brother? David B. Sele. From which group are you? Okay. All right, so you just heard.
You guys are betrayal. The guy took money from the loan. They took money from the loan.
What you said? They took money from who?
Go up. So they have to get on the set. And now after the protest and today.
So, James, I'll be Il parle en soupe?
Yeah, mais si on met là-dessus. Don't beat before he die. Don't beat. Don't beat him.
Hey, hold on, we are fine. Look, you man. Pay attention. So, he's one of the supers right in front of the American embassy. This is what we see. And we're trying to talk to the leader of the group, Ben Toba, but we have not seen him around since they started throwing stone. We saw him earlier on. This is happening right in front of the embassy of the United States. And when we talk about the lawlessness in Liberia, this is just an example. And we have few police officers here assigned at the embassy. So I'm trying to see if I can get a bento back.
Right there. Right there.
So we are first here. One.
That's he taking us back.
Sorry. You know, there's a reason. There's a reason why I thought to get this entire video coming through, because there was this back and forth on this particular question. Emmy, you asked the question. You try to go in and out with that particular point. Ben said, he threw out the challenge that you should provide a video that will show his face at that particular scene. And we watched the video. All right. The gentleman doing the video, that must be the voice of Emmanuel Kotu. He called the name of Ben Tokba. All right. He said this, we're trying to get Ben Tokba. We saw him earlier on and all of that. But I don't know. I may be wrong, but I don't remember seeing Ben in that particular video. But again, Emmy, you can just complete your question and let's have Ben to come in. Then we'll go to the phone lines.
Yeah, Nelson, there are a lot of video footages that are out there with not just Ben on this particular day, but his friend Masakwe was also on there. And if the invite or whatever thing wasn't so suddenly thrown on us, we was gonna provide him a video footages. But he's always welcome to come back. He always welcome to come back. Maybe when you're coming back, I'll have you a good president, Ben. But yeah, my last question was, how do you want for the Liberian people to take you seriously, calling yourself a civil rights advocate or whatever, and being attached to a political party? And then on this very day, the president of the Republic of Liberia, George Manneh Weah, which is now the former president, disown you, knowing you or being anywhere part of or auxiliary or anything along with CDC. So, and you still going ahead with that name, CDC COP, instead of
thank you.
How do you want for the Liberian people to take you serious and call you this civil rights advocate that you call yourself?
Yeah, Marie. I mean, I want you to please summarize the question. I mean, I had some, Baga internet thing get the Baga.
Ben, can you get used to saying President Baga when you're on the show?
Yes.
Yeah, there's too much I don't believe in the country.
Yeah, he's the president. I mean,
the patriot.
No, even if he doesn't say President Barker,
I don't want to give me I mean Marie Vest.
That's disrespectful.
But let's conclude on this. Then you just want to come in, so we go to the phone lines quickly.
Yeah, so I said, Marie, can you quickly restate your question, please?
Oh, you did. How do you want for the Liberian people to take you seriously in
your alignment with the previous administration?
Yeah,
your alignment with the previous administration.
With a political party and calling yourself a civil rights advocate. How do you want?
Yeah, I think that's the question. Yeah, go ahead, Ben. Let's hear you on that.
Okay, so you talk about my alignment
with a political party.
My alignment with the civil rights movement, and then the CDC. She asked whether we're going to maintain the name CDC Council of Patriots. Oh yeah, that is our identity. Let me just say this for the record. There are too many hypocrisies in this country we must correct. Let's correct it today, and I want you to have the opportunity to say, "Oh, it was on your platform that you corrected, or you did a correction." Now, let me say this to you, Councillor Tiawon Gonglo, and the guy, someone at Rambo and other than. And someone at Rambo and other than, I'm not rescue something. They came and said they were independent people. They were activists and all of that. At the end of the day, we saw them turning out to be partyvists. We saw them turning out to be partyvists. We saw them leapfrogging and showing their real identity in the 2023 elections.
So is that what you're doing too?
No, I'm coming. For us, no, I'm coming. I'm trying to be very magnanimous enough to answer your question for the sake of the
public. No, because we're out of time, so we don't need a history.
Yeah,
I'm asking about you.
How do you want people
to take you seriously? calling you
I mean, the Liberian people take this institution very serious because we are the only grassroots civil rights political movement, and we have an authentic identity. We are not the others who say they are civil rights movement, and at the end of the day, they can't do a campaign and take a political side and take political party campaign role. No, we have a side in this country. We have a side. We have a belief. We believe in the philosophy of Ambassador Weah.
So that means you're not a civil rights advocate. You're not a civil rights advocate. You're political.
Our work as a political no. I mean, you're making a mistake. You're educated in America. You got to stop making these simple mistakes.
I'm not an educator.
You said we're talking about civil rights political movement. We are a civil rights political movement. So don't cut our identity short. We're clear here. So as a civil rights political movement, you raise societal issues, you speak out for the people, and you align politically with a belief in revolution. A focus that you believe can solve the people's problems. And we think that...
Guys, we have to go to the phone lines.
You are just sworn by the standard bearer of that party.
The folks out there now can call 0555-101075. The WhatsApp number is on the screen, and you can call and make your input. We're going to give 30 seconds to a caller. Please, we hope you can manage to make your points within 30 seconds. Raymond Zeze is on the line. Raymond, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on.
Thanks, and thanks to all of the panelists, guys and ladies. I think you did an exceptional job. And I think it's quite difficult having two young individuals on the show who evaded all of the questions. But I think it was still a successful show because of the panelists. I come from the background of advocacy. And it's actually a shame today watching these two young men who were once part of the COP, called Heron Costa their leader, claim to have stood up for the Liberian people and had a massive rally called Save the State. In no time, flip over, join the bandwagon of Jefferson Koji and the likes of the CDC.
Okay.
Look, guys, we got to take Liberia serious.
Thank you.
Liberia is not for sale.
Thank you.
Those of you who are money-driven and are ballot-driven, stay away from our national discourse.
Thank you.
Our country do not belong to dishonest individual under the banner of youthfulness.
Thank you very much.
All champions of youth advocacy, but the likes of you should be mean and sheep for the individuals you are.
Thank you very much. Let's hold you there. Let's hold you there. Let's hold you there, Raymond.
Nothing but gibberish.
Thank you. No, you have to respect our guests. We're gonna hold you right there, and take this person here on the line. Hello, from the local line. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah. Good morning, Nelson, from the national round. This is definitely ecosystem. It's still national regular radio called Liberia.
Yeah.
The show is good. You maintain several decorum. It's important that the place should be respected and the guests should be respected. The power should be a depiction to allow the guests to explain. But we finally have some funny here. There are some basic questions I will not answer. One of the panelists said, I need to indicate three things. Education has a legacy in education. What a legacy in economic. You know, so in agriculture.
Thank you.
I was telling you guys to have said, unfortunately, the CDC government was the only government that offered our fees for our fees.
Thank you.
That was a super simple affair.
Thank you very much. Let's hold you there and take aim. Let's take Henry Kokoya. It's good to have you on the show. Please go ahead, sir. Hello, can you hear me?
Again. Yeah, that's how you doing. You getting me clear?
Okay, yes, you are live now. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So I'm saying I am hurt because one thing the brother said, Mr. Tokba, he said, the rule of law, that goes to my heart. One of the most concerning to me. And you telling me that during the Weah administration, that is the kind of country you aspire to live in. No man like you. You were proud of that kind of country. When, insecurity was on the rise. Okay? The whole thing tonight sounded to me like the attire discussion. You know, when Ellen Sully came and immediately Charles Taylor left from office.
Okay.
You know the reason why a lot of us left from Liberia because of Charles Taylor's presence.
Thank you.
And when Ellen Sully took over, people started to speak freely.
Thank you.
Now, a young man, you should be praying for your country for a better place to live. Be educated. And you come here and talk nonsense.
No, let's respect our guests. Let's no. But you can be sorry, then you come back. Okay, but thank you. We appreciate you. Yeah, we appreciate you a whole lot, sir, for your input. Thank you very much. Let's go to the local line and squeeze in this person. We're gonna take one from the local line, one from the WhatsApp. We'll take 4 more calls and then we wrap up. I know a lot of people are calling in, but we can just take 4 more calls. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. You're live.
This is CDC and I'm joining from Central.
CDC, please go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
Then the issue about Liberia is not for one person. The brother is very struggling this morning to answer the question for our ladies when it comes to the sanctity of protecting the Liberian democracy. CDC is not doing well for the Liberian people. The problem that unit family law is the issue today. Is because of Joe incompetency to serve the Liberian people.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's hold you there and take this person. Hello, please go ahead quickly. You have 30 seconds, sir.
Yeah, Nelson, how you doing? Good evening to all the panelists.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Nelson, my name is Amos T. I'm calling from the United States, to be precise, Maryland.
Okay.
We all here are young folks and older people got so much regard for you. You, Nelson. People have been questioning other people that watch sports talk. If you really went to school outside the country. Some people doubt that you even went to school in Liberia. They doubt that. You are well educated and well outspoken. Do not mount certain people and lose your credibility. You have making this spoon night show to be very big, but you don't even know. People watching behind the scene. This garden are talking about social justice. Where were they when the 4 auditors were murdered in a cold blood? Did they ever talk to the media one day? Okay, they say they were not part of what happened in front of the embassy that July 26th. Did they ever went on social media or any radio station to debunk that action? No. For them to sit on the radio station tonight or on the show tonight and be lying, Nelson, I know you are a patriot, but please do not bring this kind of people on your show.
Thank you.
Because right now, a lot of people, mind is bleeding.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. At the end of the day, there should be diversity of views. Let's take this person. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you. Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
I'll call you from Carwell. One of the persons I really want to appreciate tonight is the lady called Marie. The question Marie asked them to buy and fully got them completed to lose banners. You saw them jangling and quibbling over words.
Okay.
What did Ben explain in the place that Ben was in this place here with Kenya Juve in District 15, almost got killed. Ben knows that. When was the last time they didn't even speak of anything in this country?
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so unfortunate to see young people be so belly-driven.
Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Nelson, it's Tommy Jr.
Tommy, go
thank
ahead.
you for taking my call.
Yes, sir. Let's hear it.
Shout out to the panelists. Really great discussion tonight, and shout out to Ben and his wife for being on tonight. Why Ben is right that, as a civil rights political movement, it is not against the law to align with the political parties. A lot of civil rights political movements actually don't do that because it compromises who they are as an entity. And Ben is using the word political as an excuse to align with a political party. That's not necessarily what civil rights political movement does. The civil rights political movement of the U.S. was like the civil rights movement. The apartheid movement was a civil rights political movement. The political in that basically just means that in addition to fighting for human rights, you also promote agenda that seems to be political. Like in the U.S., the civil rights movement was a political agenda.
Okay.
So it don't necessarily mean that you have to be with a political party. My question to Ben though is this. can he give specific examples of issues that they as an entity has fought for in our country, Liberia?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tommy Jr. Let's go to the local line. Take this one. Take one more call from WhatsApp and then we'll wrap up. Hello, please go ahead.
Hello?
You're live. Yes, sir. Go ahead. You're live. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. You're live.
Yeah, I'm Jonathan Harris calling from Kakata City.
You're calling from Kakata?
Yeah, Kakata City.
Okay, go ahead.
Where they want me to call Ben Tupa, the mother out from the same town.
No. Hello. Please don't bring the man family background. National issue we're discussing.
We are related. I think we are related. But from the time Ben Bill accused of sell on that, I don't know. The mother is a car woman.
Okay. Thank you. Look, Chief. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. They think a national issue we're discussing. Tell the main family from inside the national discussion we're having. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to advise them that my own nephew, let him come down, let him cool down, let him repent. Let us him for what Ben had done. What Ben had done is bad for him.
Thank you.
Need to repent. You need to come down from that Ghana CDC.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come down.
You need to call your cousin and evangelize to him. You know. Let's take the final call. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you. I think this should be Josh. Josh Wheeler, go ahead.
Hi, Nelson. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are live on the show, Josh.
Thank you so much. Nelson, I just want to thank the panelists. I want to thank Ben and Fude. I think they did exceptionally well against all of the attacks that have been, perpetrated against them. I think it is an incredible show I've been watching, and I like everything I've seen. But one thing I just want to say here is that the misinformation and the hypocrisy in our society must come to an end. I think Ben did exceptionally well by dispelling that particular rumor about them being violent. I think that one of the accomplishments I saw in the show. I just want to thank you, Ben, for the articulation tonight. It was incredible. And whatever they say, let me tell you, in Georgia, we have 6 years. We did not have any police shooting people. Less than 6 months in Black House administration, we got 3 people who were killed.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
I don't know how you can describe that. So you can continue to back Black Eye, and we would continue to push the agenda of President George Manuel.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much, Josh Wheeler. At the end of the day, we have to do our closing. Ben, we're gonna give it over to you to just do your closing, and then we'll.
Ben, did you feel attacked by me because George Wheeler said we're attacking you?
Anthony, can you just?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I like to say this to the platform, the panelists. Let me firstly commend you all. The show is a very great show. The way you ask the questions, your criticality on national issues is very important. And when intellectuals meet on these kind of polling or these platforms, cross-pollinate idea, have civil exchanges is important. But you see, there's something I'm disappointed in. I want to register it today. We've been stereotyped. We're victims of lies and deception, misinformation. Today, there are people in this country who believe that we bad people, we can just go, we just went somewhere and be students. When you look at the video, there you listen to the journalist asking, we are looking for the chairman of the CDC COP. There's no chairman to be found at the violence scene. There's no secretary general. There's no vice chair for operations. There's no public relation officer, anybody from CDC COP. But now, Nelson, I'm coming. Nelson, I think it's important, Nelson, thank you for the show, but let me make this point clear. This is about characters, about life. Whenever you put somebody out there, our life is involved in this thing. So when we come on this platform for clarity, you see, let me say this today. Anyone today, including the Christopher you guys talking about, feel that CDC COP instructed or orchestrated brutality on them, let them proceed to the court of law with immediate effect.
who want to face that court and let us spare a spare. It's too much now. Another disappointment I have here is especially I will speak to the conscience of Amin and Marie. And I like two of you stands because to see women championing the cause, it's very difficult to see women leaving all of their activities and coming to perform this patriotic role. Let me say this to you, Amin and Marie. Queen Johnson, a supporter of the Unity Party and a play daughter of Mr. Barker, of President Barker, was clearly seen in the video where they brutalized the late Joshua by a sedition that led to his death. The Liberian National Police came up and said they will conduct an arrest, investigate Queen. To date, it has never happened. The last time when she went to Red Lion, we saw the police providing protection for all CDC COP. Even when His Excellency George Manenwea was president, the police did not come to our home to arrest us. We turned ourselves in for investigation. Today, Queen Johnson is parading the corridors, and there's nobody talking about Joshua Barr's death. His blood is crying up to God. On the other hand, Christopher Waters Susulu is moving around today. He's an active participant in soup crisis. Lana Soup got an issue on their campus. One man say he chairman, other man say he chairman, they got issues. Christopher is active, moving, doing his normal activities. There's been no medical report. He did not go to court, but Joshua Barr is dead. Queen is a woman, and you people are mothers on the show. Whether you have a child or not, you are a mother. Every woman is a mother poised, whether you have it or not, or one way or the other. But you have not most of the courage to ask for Queen Johnson to face the law. You're not doing that. But this is unfair to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think we brought anything about Queen Johnson up here, so you can't make that conclusion.
And I think it's been a great interaction.
And we were here talking about you, not Queen Johnson. So you cannot make that conclusion.
We can't do this. We can't do this. When we talk over, together like that, it's seriously, it's irritating for those following the show. So, but we can't do that. I mean, everybody will have their time, please. But Ben, we want to say it's been a great interaction. It was good that you accepted our invite to come on. You are always welcome on the late night show. Every Liberian, regardless of the view you share, once you can be safer in expressing yourself.
Another thing that we didn't talk about our endorsement of Yeke Koluba movement. Our endorsement on Yeke's action, the press release. So Nelson, in one second, the CDC Council of Patriots endorsed the movement against Boakai presidency organized by Representative Yeke Koluba. We support Honorable Yeke Koluba and we stand with him to confront the Boakai regime until the right thing is done. There's no space for any tyranny, administration, a kleptocrat or kakistocrat to derail the gains. Our country is going back to drain.
Thank you.
The peace is being derailed.
We look forward to having you again.
Boakai has failed.
It's been a great show. Thanks a lot. We will now move the panelists to do their closing. Ben, if you have the time, you can stick around while the panelists do their closing. Yes, but we appreciate you for being here tonight, accepting to be our guest. So let's do our closing. Francis, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Francis. Yeah, Francis, take your 1 minute. And on a serious note, I'm setting the timer because I want us to do this in time. Francis, you have 1 minute to do your closing.
At least 2 minutes. Can I get all 1 minute?
No.
Allow us to elaborate.
My man, we need 2 minutes to close this time, my man. 1 minute, not too much for small.
Okay. So let's do this. You've requested for 2 minutes.
Your phone is really bad tonight. What's going on?
You requested for 2 minutes.
I think we're gonna do
the 2 minutes each. We're gonna do the 2 minutes each.
I'm relaxed, honey. I'm relaxed.
You're not relaxed.
Look at you.
Francis, please take your 2 minutes.
Is Ben still in the back? Is Ben in the back?
I think so, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go. No need for that man to be here.
Liberian people, because when we come on here, sometimes we joke, we talk, and we exchange ideas, we get upset and things like that. For me, I don't know these guys. I heard about CDC COP from Liberian politics, but just today, looking listening to their explanation and their description of themselves and just finding information on them. That's why when I asked the very first question, you cannot call yourself an advocate. You see, Liberal, we need to stop this. Not everybody says Zigbe on your side, you for them. If you call yourself an activist, a civil rights activist, political, whatever you call yourself, Liberia, he said, President, we are lost by less than 1%. But if you're an activist, you speak for the people, you speak for the entire country. These guys are up for sale. Their loyalty is up for sale. Liberia, be smart and listen. These guys on June 7, 2020, hashtag Save the State protest. Then they withdrew from CPP on August 31st. They were under investigation by the COP on Henry Costa when they pledged their loyalty to CDC in 3 months from the protest. So some of you CDC in the comment section talking. Not all the people that say, I will say on Zebe you should accept in your tent. Some of them are poison fruits. CDC COP is a poison fruit for CDC. I'm not a United Party. I'm a patriotic Liberian that said anybody but we are, and President Parker happened to go against him in the second round. That's why we supported President Parker. I would have supported or anybody else against President Weah. But CDC COP is a poison fruit. So if you love CDC, you're a patriotic CDC, you should disassociate yourself with CDC COP. They are up for sale. Their loyalty is up for sale. Based on my own little investigation online. These guys are not credible. Thank you.
Nancy is yellow. I beg you. Let go by the
Let me just take over because Nancy, I think
Nancy got in the sitting there right now. I don't know what's going on.
So go ahead, Anthony.
Look, if you love Liberia, you will not pretend like these guys that just came out here. If you say you're speaking of the issues, then you should speak about lawmaker creating avenue to pocket more money. This is taking money out of the people who's supposed to receive the money. Civil servant not getting paid on time or getting paid chicken change. How can a man wear a police uniform with a Liberia flag on it and get paid $150 US? A whole 30 days. And these guys can take $100,000 extra pocket change for themselves. If that does not make you angry, you are not a patriotic Liberian. You are not advocating for the plight of the people. Politics is working in the interest of the people, not working in your own interest to pocket more money. So in Liberia, say politics are interest. No, they misleading with that statement. Politics is working in the interest of the people. Those who cannot speak for themselves, you are representing them to advocate for them, to make sure you create the avenue and the environment for them to strive. That's what politics is all about. When you get into politics, you get into politics to serve, not to steal. You get into politics to create the environment for other people to succeed. Dr. King then, when they marched in the streets of America, they did it for us to have that opportunity today. When Barack Obama served, he did it for us to have the opportunity. Barack Obama presidency made more black people went back to college in this country and got college degrees. All right? That's why he did for America. He did other possible things. It brought healthcare that people didn't have before. Obamacare today now have given over 80 million people service in this country. So don't come to politics to enrich yourself. Come to politics to create the avenue so that other people can have opportunity to strive. That's what politics is all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Vasco?
It was a great show. When you have intellectual and you also have weak intellectuals going against giants, this is how you're going to see things happening. I got to know tonight that I don't think we're going to organize any debate again. Because if we organize a debate, I mean, it's going to be a disaster for what I saw today. These people came here. Nelson asked,
no, Marina, man.
You guys are not, you people are not intellectual.
Go ahead, intellectual. Do your
Yeah, that intellectual speaking. Look, the guys came on this show to discuss the issue about the Unity Party. Everything those guys said on this show, they are all, you know why when people speak and nobody have anything to say to them on the issue that they spoke about, and then they leave it and start to go to places, different places, which means everything they say is true and nobody can counter what they say. I expected you today to come here and counter those people talking about the incident in King George, talking about the $40 million that Baka took from the budget. The things you guys spoke about, these are the things I expected you to attack. You left it and you start asking the people questions. Let me tell you, in politics and in discussion, people don't answer your question the way you wanted to answer it. Everybody know that. You don't expect me to answer your question the way you think you want me to answer your question. Because the issue they discussed, you couldn't confront them on that issue. You started bringing different stuff or scare tactics. You expect them to go in your land to answer your question.
Thank you, Vasco.
And this is bad, though. We'll be having different guests on this show. You need to, they think another vestation something. They think that 1 hour.
Thank you, Vasco.
1 hour 30 minutes. 1 hour 30 minutes. Feeling we all will laugh.
Thank you.
I mean, begin 1 second. Let me learn. When we have guests here, everybody should put their feeling down.
Vasco, you won't learn by lecturing us?
The time is up. Let somebody else go.
The way, even the colors. Look at the Unity Party colors.
Let somebody else go, Vasco. Now you have
to. It's bad.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, be that. Now, who next? You, Francis. All that, be that. Yeah, go ahead.
I should go ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it was a good show. And basically, I want to say thanks to the caller and the guests for being here. If these conversations are going to be heated because, like I said, you guys are product of lies and the nature of propaganda. So their foundation was always built on the issue about misusing themselves in the name of being a political right movement and wanting to always drive issue the way they think they could be persuasive to wanting to gain some soul. But we'll always be around to make some basic clarification. You guys talked about a series of things. They didn't answer the question. They wasn't fair to the platform and people who are listening. You re-comment, you listen to the caller, they make it very clear. But how behave, that is how the thing they could come in. Because they said it was premeditated and they ought to be basic thing. But what I want to say to our people here is this. If you want to,
oh, sorry, bro. I didn't know.
If you want to see serious group of people, you have to know that there are people that poke out Robert, the likes of Ben, because the history of you guys, it is quite astonishing. It's something that you don't want to go into. If somebody coming to talk about the government or a particular situation in our country, like one of the callers said, a civil rights movement is not mostly in the case of alarming with government. Yeah, you can say some things about government doing good, but you dare to fight for the people, talk for the people, and strengthen governance from all angles, the rule of law, all the basic things. Most of the question we ask here tonight, Western answer from both points. Anthony talked about budget being allotted to lawmakers. Majority from the CDC angle, they didn't answer it. We talk about the rule of law, how the rule of law was being abused, how you feel about it. The video show here, Poker Robert is a member of the CDC COP. Though Mr. Weir said he didn't know any group they call CDC COP. So I see them as abandoned child. But that's fine. That's another topic for another day. When you come to these public discussions, right, you should be very honest to your audience. We got audience here that believe in this platform. You can be driven, flip-flopping. You don't want to answer question. Everything will about Mr. Bwaka. And like I said, I see a portion of elevating the usual proliferation of misinformation on public discourse. And that is why the guys came away. And we're not be here to accept this thing, but how be it when you are guests, you got some leverage. I think we can we can do it better next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Marie?
I think we need to include our comment section.
Okay.
The comment section is fun.
Thank you, Ami. You know, Vasco is one of the most naive panelists I've ever seen, and lack of knowledge, a lot of knowledge that he needs to.
Okay. Francis? Marie will come back.
No, I closed already.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I was the first.
Francis closed. Yeah, Francis was the first.
Oh, okay.
I thought someone can chime in because
No, you get
to say something. I ain't touch anything myself.
You get too close in, so
No,
Nelson, you there?
Because you know, Maria.
Okay, so let me.
Won't be going out.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
After Vasco finished cursing all year, he left. You know, moving. As soon as I say something, then
Nelson did that.
That's you. Okay.
I did. You don't talk to your fellow panelists like that. That's why I removed Vasco. You guys gotta be very, very kind. You all had a wonderful show, but let's just take our feelings out of it. You gave Ben the chance. He explained whether it's true or false. At least he explained what he came to do, what actually he planned to do, and he did. So we as panelists will just sit and ask the hard question, but we can beat it in them. We can force answer from them. So let's just calm down. It's not about our feelings. It's about presenting a good show. And I think you guys did great today. But please, we shouldn't attack each other on the show. Go in the chat room and say anything you want to say about Vasco, but not on set. So do your closing. Nelson, can I come back because I think he had some technical issue. And I want to close the program when you guys close, so he asked me to. So do your closing, and we'll go to Sister Emmy.
But Emmy, since CEO on here, I will want to plug our stuff that we're going through. So at least maybe he can push it too for us on Spoon Talk.
Yeah, but I'm Marie finished though.
I want to make some corrections for Vasco. This wasn't a debate because Nelson did not allow us to counter check what these individuals were saying, all the lies they were spewing out. Instead, Nelson insisted that we ask questions. So consider your seditions as guests. This wasn't a debate today. These individuals came on here today and said all the lies in the world. They came here, they talk about Waka police being the most brutal police when they are aligned with a party that had the worst police force in Liberia. They are also aligned with a party SOB that was in power, had a position, because they came on here and talk about Amos Stewart. Jefferson Koji was in position and also running the party. I guess they did not see that at the time when they was running the COP. They said they are patriots. To be a patriot is not to be aligned with any party. This man specifically said several times, the man I support, George Weah. He is nothing about the Liberian people. So he shouldn't come on here and consider himself as a patriot because he don't represent the Liberian people. What he does is he represents the CDC party. And I'm just disappointed tonight that we sat here and Nelson allowed the lies to continue to go on without.
Can I ask you a question, Marie? Is CDC party not Liberian People Party?
Oh Jesus!
And Marie?
No, I'm
asking Marie, guys.
When they came on here,
wait.
I will answer your question.
Maria, wait. Calm down. You say they do not represent the Liberian people, but CDC. Where is CDC?
When they came on here, they was very specific. They said there are two major parties in Liberia. That is the UP and the CDC. And they choose a side. being that Liberia have two major parties, I think it's best that they represent all of the parties that is within the Liberian politics instead of choosing an individual party.
Okay. Okay.
But Mary,
Listen, they
in
are
politics, you don't do that,
listen,
though.
listen, guys.
You gotta give
They are
other people the
sedition.
opportunity
Oh,
to
Anthony,
have their
1
own
minute,
space.
please. They are sedition, Maria. They are sedition. They are just sedition in disguise. Don't kill yourself for that. Don't
Can
get
I
all that.
discuss you?
They are
They
just
are
sedition.
They are
That's what
not.
it
They
is.
are not even hiding it.
But you said they say they represent the group. No, they are sedition. Let's move on. Why you always getting mad? And why you always getting they'll give you frustration. Relax yourself. And you know, Ben, Believe Toba,
Mary can
Coca
take
Ramos,
political
and the
punishment.
rest of them, they're gonna do their thing. You just do yours. It's like a battle. You are in a courthouse. You want to convince the judge as to which side the jury should go. So you're speaking to the Liberian people. Take some people from the camp. Don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at everybody in that camp. Win some of them over. You guys can win Vasco over here. You can win him over.
We're gonna need Jesus Christ to do that one.
Most of the people on Spoon Talk, right? I won most of them over. It wasn't easy. They came in not as a Joe Boaca supporter, but you know, you got to try to be creative. Don't get mad at them. Let them talk. Let them do the thing.
Vasco, you can.
You know, Vasco. We listen. Vasco not on the show. Vasco over here. Anthony, 1 minute. Vasco over here. He have called on the show. He have insulted me. He have said the words. I get mad with Vasco because I know we're going to beat them, and we beat them.
Yeah, shameless.
So, yeah, 2029. He was support. He was support the candidate I will be supporting. So leave Vasco alone. Let him chill. And, you know, but I mean, do your closing. Let's go. It's really late. You guys had a great show, though. I've been following.
Yes, I really hope
work.
Nelson was here because the whole thing about an opposite view, I'm confused about it. When someone is telling lie and you're trying to checkmate them, and when they're saying something that is not right, and then he comes in, oh, but we need opposite view. We need opposite. That is not opposite view. We need opposite view, but we also need to get an argument. If we are doing according to Vasco debate, if somebody is speaking out lies, I need to correct them. That doesn't mean I don't need an opposite view.
Vasco, give a chance, please.
So it doesn't mean that you're not inviting or welcoming opposite views. So their whole narrative, there's our brother Ben Tokpai and what's the other one name? Fode, right? They came on here. They were saying stuff that what's it? We asked you a question. We said, "Oh, can you please stick with the questions?" And then you go all around and we said, "Sir, we want you to answer the question." You let these people come and kind of lecture us and insulting people on the platform. Then when we correct them, oh guys, we need opposite view. I don't understand that opposite view. I really wanted him to be here to tell me what an opposite view.
I think he listened to you. But what answer you want from them, Emmy? Emmy, let me help you with this.
That's another question that they didn't answer.
Emmy, your work is to ask the question. Their work is to answer, and the Liberian people will decide. They will not answer to your liking.
They are liking.
They will not answer the way you want them to answer.
I understand that though, but if they're
so the only thing we can do is to ask the question, right? Anthony, 1 minute now, Anthony. The only thing we can do is to ask the question, to go around the question, to go over the question, under the question, and if they choose not to answer, they say, you know what, I don't want to answer that question. You can't force them. The Liberian people will decide whether they are telling the truth or they are lying. You have to be creative.
Yeah,
but I don't think Nelson entrap you guys. No. Sometimes it's good to bring them on. The Liberian people see who they are. And you guys are doing extremely well, staying up late and hanging on the show. It's a hard work. Where is Mobile? Is he staying in Liberia?
So I'm studying my closing.
They're at work, I think.
But Emily finish now. Let's go home.
Before we go, maybe
let Emily finish with a second closing. Let Emily finish.
Second closing. I was just ending up. Anyways, the Liberian people, I think we all came out tonight, and we, even though it was a surprise, our brothers came in. But I think we all seeing what the children represent instead of coming out all the time and talking about, oh, we for the Liberian people. All of a sudden, we have so many people in Liberia now that speaks for the Liberian people that never spoke for the past 6 years. When we talk about it, then they say, oh, you want to compare, you want no. When we speaking about the 6 years, not that we want to for Joe Biden government to do what the past government did, then we wasn't going to support him to remove them. We are pointing these things out to point out the hypocrisy in these people that they don't care about you. They want to come here to run campaign for 2029 that is still 6 years away. And Vasco want to come here and tell us what question to ask, how we should ask it. No. Vasco, when the guests come on here, whatever they're from, I am not I told you, no party person. Ask your question the way you want to ask it, as though you're respecting them. If they're not answering the question, tell them they're not answering your question the same way we did. It had nothing to do with CDC or whatever that you'll be telling us how we're not doing it, we're not doing that. It's not, I don't think that was powerful for you to do. Thank you. And then Liberian people can see through you with your advocacy and civil rights movement and all of that. Thank you for the show.
I mean, thank you, Mary. Thank you. Listen, Sitia Tengbe, she wants you to please vote for her, the supermom.org. Please, you can click on vote for her. Every one of you, please share it. Please vote for her. You still have over maybe 400 people watching you guys. We're just backing you. Vote for Cynthia. Siata, that's the name, Siata Tengbe. All right. That's the link. The supermom.org/2024/Siata.Tengbe. Please do. She really want to win this thing. She's in third place right now. You can make her win. So we're backing you. Yes, sir.
Yes, Theo. Before we close, we have our initiative that's going on with the fire situation in Liberia. My foundation and in collaboration with the Late Night Show would organize a raffle because we're trying to raise at least 1,000, raise money to purchase at least 1,000 smoke alarm to send to Liberia and distribute to everybody. So this is not political. We're just trying to help our people because people are dying. So what I've done is I put out my brand new PlayStation 5 for a raffle. We are looking for a minimum of 25 people to buy into the raffle of $50 per person, so that we can whoever wins will get the PlayStation 5. It's brand new, never been turned on, and the goal is to send more smoke alarm to Liberia to give for free. So this is non-political. So for some of our folks that are watching us and be following us, you may get mad at us.
I would say, listen, the CEO is Manatiti Cannon. Reach out to Nelson, let Nelson reach out to her. I don't, get involved with these things, except her. So once you inform Nelson, just allow Nelson to let her know, or you can call her, and then you guys can discuss it, okay? I got nothing to do with this. I don't get involved. I know it's a good initiative, but discuss it with her.
All right, we'll reach out.
Yeah, I don't want you and myself to be in the Fadika and AB situation, or Madam Titi and myself. All right? She's the boss now. She's here, I'm here. So let she make that decision. Reach out to her. All right. Yes, Maria.
CEO Konya Lofa is making a donation on behalf of our show.
I'm not hearing you.
I said Konya Lofa is making a donation on behalf of our show to the returnees, and I hope you can see that so we can show it to Nelson. For 20
again, it's the same thing. You guys in your chat room, you'll deal with Nelson.
Yes,
and Nelson would, and Nelson, and Nelson will go ahead and talk to Madam Titi. I don't get involved with your show. I don't get involved with Madam Titi running of the network. She's a CEO. But again, all these initiatives are better. And I hope that you can channel yourself. You get your deputy for.
Yeah, but they fire something is already okay with Nelson. That's something that we don't.
Okay. You get your deputy right here. Emmy is the deputy. Emmy, you took over Mobile Spot, right? Why? You're demoted Mobile?
No.
Mobile been working. They're not yet tonight, CEO.
They alternate.
He's trying to put people against each other. All you can do is behind the scene.
According to my uncle Delon, I'm a two-flat bulldog. And you're trying to turn it off. You're trying to turn it off, right?
No, mobile is fine. Mobile is. I think Mobile brought his wife and his children, so it's taking him away. Yep. But you have a good night. Vasco, please don't stop insulting me. Don't go on the show and insult me. Your sedition we know remain a sedition. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be a sedition. We are all Liberians, but guess what happened? We're just different when it comes to the policy of Liberia and the way in which George Manaweah ran the country. I don't hate George Manaweah. I really don't hate anyone. They are all welcome on the Spoon Talk. The more you bring Jefferson Koji here, myself will say that I have a debate. But I just feel that they are not the right people to lead our country. And the right individuals for now is Jose Yimabwaka. And you know, so give him his 6 years.
Yeah.
If he failed, the Liberian people will decide. If he succeeds, the Liberian people will decide. But for now, give him his 6 years. All right.
I see what we agree with giving him 6 years.
You have no choice.
They should also understand that from the beginning of this 6 year, we are already in a campaign situation.
So don't expect
us.
Thank you for making a confession. Thank you for making a confess.
Darren has been
So do you think you want me to come praise Waka?
Now we know what you're doing now. We'll just people to you.
No, we're in a campaign situation until the next election.
You get listen. You get a long way to go.
Just discuss yourself to the audience.
You get a long way to go. But guys, that's a good show, man. You have a wonderful evening. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you for coming. It's not making me too tired.